Whoops, sorry. My bad. Sorry. I was on the phone. I didn't even know it stopped playing. My bad. Sorry. Oh, it's silly. Yeah, that's exactly right. I was just letting the song go to a certain point, but not finishing the whole thing. I was going to stop it in the middle. I figured you guys would be used to that. Hi, Stephanie. Yes, you are correct. I hear DJs design the entire art. Damn straight. Come here, let me give you a big old kiss. Hashtag blame Pack. Warlock says, DJs, were you involved with the testing? Oh, yeah. So it's my fault? 100%. Hey, Nightmare, 100%. Oh, yeah. Blame Pack. This content is Pack approved. Coming soon, a $99 multi-tier Prime that will add one hostel to the number you can get before it crashes out. Coming soon to an in-app store near you. Testing? What do you mean, testing? If we didn't test things, they wouldn't work. Trust me. Promo code? What promo code? Vengeance SMS? What? Never heard of it. Hey, who was it that took me on the under of 3 comp chests for the month?
Quality.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? That was a solid intro right there. Like it. You like my new little remix right there? What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the show. Twitch and Trek is live on your November Arcfall. Are you excited, everybody?
I couldn't be happier if I was twins.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome in. Oh, welcome to the Leroy Jenkins Arcfall, everybody.
Best building I ever maxed.
Oh man, Griffin's fine. Griffin's fine. I was actually having a couple of frame drop issues at the very beginning. That's why it took me an extra second. Hey, what's going on? Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate it. Mad Rocks, hello.
I think I fool-bought this.
Fullman, hello. JG Nasty, what's going on? Delmeyer, Tabby Moza, Omicron, Dr. Warbird, what's going on? Stephanie, how you doing? Doss, Anubis, Skeletor, Jeff Games, how you doing? Jason, how you doing? Leslie over in the YouTube chat, how are you? Noon Whistle,
Yay,
Solo, Welsh Warlock, Grouchy Outlaw, Mimi, Divine, C Engineering, Jondrel, Divine, Daryl, Albert, A-Pal, Maple Butter. Good evening. Welcome in. Yeah, hi, I kill you. Yeah, I'm just trying to deliver you a piece of content that you guys are familiar with. The stream is dropping frames, Outposts are dropping hostels, Scopely's dropping cop chests. We got this. We know what we're doing around here. Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Caledon says, are you still amazingly positive tonight after the weekend, or is that right out the window? I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. You want to know why, Griffin?
Why?
Because I'm going to name the show. I'm going to name the show here tonight. Can I go ahead and name the show?
I am so positive.
I know exactly what you're going to name on.
Energy.
It's based on something you said a couple weeks ago.
The name of this show is See, I Told You So.
I knew it.
Yay, boy.
How does it feel to be this right?
Well, first, I would like to thank all of my partners at Scopely World Gaming International Headquarters. Without your notoriously reliable unreliability, this moment would not be possible. First of all, thank you.
Bought this.
Thank you. Second of all, to all of my brothers and sisters over on PAC, thank you for doing such a wonderful job. Appreciate that. I'm would not be here without you accepting this award on behalf of all of PAC.
I almost choked on a gummy bear.
And to you, the player, who said, I bet this month there's going to be less than 3 comp chests, I thank you. Because it was your eternal optimism that allowed me to come out and laugh publicly at your absolutely absurd claims.
They didn't make claims. That was just wishful thinking. Very wishful thinking.
Divine says, you know what, DJ, you could still lose. They might wait till the end and just give one big calm chest. It's possible.
Mm-hmm. That would be out of spite. Well,
all right.
It's not all bad news, UltimatDJz.
Oh, well, that's great. I'm sure that there are things that we can talk about that are good news here as well. As a matter of fact, I do have a piece of good news. I have heard that the extreme number of salty tears escaping from Hammy's eyes have in fact forced him to blink today. All right, that's fantastic news. Yeah, great news. Great news. Hey, you know what? In other good news, Tarpey has a Tier 12 Crenshaw. Congratulations to you, Tarpey. Tier 12 Crenshaw, that's awesome news. Congratulations to you.
Yep. I am also leading the regional leaderboard in Outpost control upgrade because I'm the only idiot stupid enough to update the building.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And while we're praising Griffin for being at the leader pole position of the Outpost Control Building RLB, I would like to also praise the client design team for this wonderful new artistic abstract overlay. See, nothing's in the right spot. Your ear is here, and your lips are here, and your eyeball is back here, and I think
it's very progressive. Very progressive.
I love the abstract art. All right, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right. Well,
I would like to thank
and
congratulate places 2 through 5 on this leaderboard.
Yeah.
Retrieving, and retrieving for doing such a great job.
Congratulations to Retrieving, everybody. He's right here in our audience. He is so impressive that he has scored the 2nd through the 5th spots. All
and the 7th and the 8th somehow.
Yeah, the 7th and the 8th because he's that good. That's how many alts he has.
Hey, DJ.
And that's how many accounts he's spent on. Hey, what's up?
Open up your leaderboard to the same thing.
Oh, no.
Oh, wait, never mind. Never mind. Wrong one. I was thinking the Vengeance one for a second there. Never mind.
I'm going to, which one are we going? We're going to the Schematic Salvage RLB.
Yeah.
Well, allow us to continue congratulating Retrieving.
Oh,
right.
Retrieving has also placed on the regional leaderboard for Vengeance Blueprints.
well, you've been very busy today.
He's been very, very busy. Clearly.
He's not even G7.
Clearly.
Good job. Like,
listen.
here's all the alt accounts.
Somebody is loving this art. Retrieving has spent thousands of dollars today.
I don't even see that RLB. Is it because I have a Vengeance?
Yes.
That would be it.
Yes. Yeah, you can only get one through the RLB because you can now have 2. Did you know that?
I did. I mysteriously received a token that I had no idea what it was for today.
All right.
So you can get a second one.
Well,
Perfect.
guys, it's not been a good day in the world of Fleet Command, and sadly, I feel obligated to say it, Griffin.
See, I told you so, or I was right, you were wrong. Which way are you going?
Either one works. 6 one, half dozen of another. Okay.
Same difference.
Oh, you son of a bitch. 2 weeks ago, I came out on this show. As a matter of fact, it was Tarpey. It was 1 week and 5 days ago tonight.
Not that you're counting.
Not that I'm counting.
6, 7.
That I, around 6 or 7 days, that I came out on the show.
No, because that would be petty if you were counting.
Yeah, I definitely don't know that it was exactly 1 day, 5 or 1 week, 5 days, and about 23 hours and 52 minutes ago. I would not absolutely know that. What I would say is that right around that time, I came out here and I said, uh-oh, we have a problem.
What, Waggy?
Raggy. We've got a problem. All right? And the problem was simply this. G7 space does not work. The veils don't work. Mining dailies are not working. Waves don't work. And I saw in playtest a very cool feature, designed well.
Great idea.
Cool idea. And I saw a technological and engineering marvel.
Ooh.
That would indeed experience the phenomenon that we know as failure to launch.
Great movie.
This is a cute movie.
Bad game.
Bad game. All right. And I came out on this show and I said the same thing to that I said to PAC, the same thing that I said to game design, same thing I said to live ops, and the same thing I said to general manager Connor.
And the same thing you often hear on your first dates. Stop everything.
This has gone
Are
far
you there
enough.
for most of them?
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Scopely Game Arcfall, which sadly continues to find new ways to impress.
We really put the fall in Arcfall this time.
I said on this stage that I had extreme reservations, that the technology from October was not yet whole, that it did not work, that it did not function. Still to this day, we have not fixed mining nodes in the Veil. The script is now working better. The script is working better. But we're still breaking nodes, are we not? We still have ghost ships. We still are losing Kirsharaku if we select a ship in the Veil. We still get pulled out of waves and lose precious elite wave directives if we even look at G7 space. We still see ships auto-recalling. As a matter of fact, we have seen zero progress on any of the technical bug specs that were raised in the month of October. Yet, we decided to move forward with this highly ambitious new technological design and this feature that should be great. Like G7, the design seems whole. The math appears to be relatively solid. And the spaghetti code that exists, the absolute rat's nest of code that we know as Fleet Command, continues to burn. Oh, no, in all fairness, Shinzola, there's been communications. There's been communications. As a matter of fact, today, the number of communications about bug announcements is in the double digits. Let's read a couple. Quick heads up. Servers will remain under maintenance for a further duration of time. Update. Team is looking into events and dailies not scoring.
Yay, bugs.
Checking away teams not refreshing. Investigating systems labeled as retrieving. Halloween event store ended early. Additional builder and research queues yet again made their way into the game.
Oh.
Hostiles using outpost art instead of hostile art.
About this.
Away team slots missing for any and all G7 players. Starting an outpost gave you an error message that maximum armada limits were reached.
That's messed up.
The promo code for the Arc launch is not working. Once outposts actually did start to work, they stopped mid-attack. Hostiles stopped, but you continued to orbit and basically turned the outpost into a ghost node.
Oh,
Choice rewards
I think I foobot this.
were launched incorrectly and then removed. For G4, G5, G6. Ah, yes.
That's
and there it
messed
is.
up.
Can't leave you out, G7. And then most recently, 4 hours ago, we're going to share an update. Outpost attack stopping after 5 rounds. We know about that. The Armada limit pop-up appearing. Clearing locale.
Don't
By the
open
way,
it, then later I can claim ignorance. Right?
I am also vindicated on this. Clearing localization, never a good thing.
yay, bugs.
Never a good thing. You'll never convince me it's a good thing.
I thought of you when I saw this one.
You'll never convince me that clearing local is a good thing. Matters talks about it all the time. Clearing local is fake.
Number one.
Clearing local is fake. That is not real. Okay? Clearing local does nothing. Oh, except today, it caused your game to freeze and crash. So, and I told you not to clear local. I told you guys. Okay? Promo code rollout has been delayed until such a time that we can put out the rest of the fires. But we do have an update. We have identified the issue causing the game to restart for players after they start an outpost. We're working on a fix, and we'll release that to you later. In other words,
Oh, man.
we have dozens of bugs that have been launched in the month of November that we can now add to the ever-growing list of October bugs that also have not been resolved.
Oh.
So what
This
is
is
working?
giving me incredible anxiety and heartburn. You know I'm
what?
on a diet. I'm trying to lose weight, and I'm just sitting here stress eating Junior's Halloween candy.
Here's what's going to happen.
Yay, bugs.
You know what is working?
What?
My koozie. Working. It's holding my beer, and it's
Oh,
keeping it
God.
cold. My koozie works. That's right. The pack store works. Homer Simpson's car works. Twitch rating works. Twitch rating works.
pack
Hey,
store works
Tiberius.
great.
Tiberius, what's up? Thank you very much. Appreciate that. The Visa MasterCard clearinghouse works, as Griffin can attest.
Oopsie.
Sound alerts work.
You don't. I keep telling myself,
My bell works.
sure, maybe it wasn't the best idea to spend 17 packs worth of upgrades on the building for the ship for the feature that's not working so great. But then I
Well,
thought to myself,
Yeah, obviously.
it can't all be bad. Mm-hmm. Imagine the size of the compensation chest I'm gonna get.
My name is Beck, and I like plants, and I'm a valley girl, and listen to me do all the things on a Rev Show.
God bless. No, it's not. It's not Rev Show. It's mine.
That will be a compensation chest the likes of which we have never seen. Son, you play, you pay. That's right.
Oopsie.
All right. I'm done with my
Mantis
satire. I'm done with my satire comedy. Let's break in. All right. We do have some things that we're going to be able to do tonight. We're going to pop into the game. We've got stuff to do here tonight. What we are going to do is
I'm
we
so
are.
positive.
Thank
I'm
you.
full of positive energy.
Ryan says, "Does Rev own this show?" Yes, he does. It's always been Rev's show. I claim that it's not. It is. All right. So
DJ.
Yes.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. What's wrong with your game?
Oh, burn.
I can't say that. I'm gonna get the crap slapped out of me right now.
We ain't found shit.
Hey, thank you, says Scopely Engineering while they're looking for any of the 15 bugs that exist in the game.
Oh, wow.
It's not 15.
Come
it's
on,
like
keep it coming.
25.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming. All right, guys. We do have things that we're going to do tonight. All right. We are going to be able. All right. So there's a few things that we're going to be able to do. Not many. We are going to be able to start Outposts tonight. So that is my plan. I would like to say thank you to the Live Ops team who did, in fact, provide me with a number of starts for the purposes of demonstrating those tonight. Obviously, we're not going to sit around and wait for the hostiles to stop right around hostile 5 or number 6. But what we are going to do is we are going to test some of the buffs. Okay. I do feel like we can still provide some interesting content tonight, Griffin, because when the content does start working at some point in the future, then we can be prepared. Okay. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to test a couple of varying different levels. We're going to test a couple of buffs. We're going to examine the officers, and we're going to make sure that we are holding up our predictions and our expectations that certain officers are working and not working. Okay. We are going to.
We also have a full
that.
report on the economy of the refinery.
Yes,
associated with the building.
Jules Verne will be here to present the spreadsheet. We have 100% of the data to fill that in with regards to the material generator, material refinery, outpost exchange, et cetera, et cetera. All right. Joe says, so I shouldn't start an outpost. Joe, no, I'm sorry. I cannot in good faith or conscience tell you to go start an outpost. I can't do it. Okay. What I'm going to say is
that's messed up.
Yeah, so is the game. What I am going to allow you to do here this evening, Joe, is to see some of the mechanics and some of the testing that we're going to provide to you tonight with regards of how it's working. But
that's a big one right there. That's impressively large.
Referring to the bug list. What we are... You guys can't stop me tonight, okay? Can't stop me. We are going to examine that officer list, and we're going to look at some of the varying abilities.
I'm number 1.
Tonight is a great night to come sit under the learning tree and watch as UltimatDJz and I irresponsibly spend our directives and show you what's going on so you can see how they work and what crews work and what not to do.
I'm trying to think. I'm number 1. What can I said you guys couldn't stop me, and that one actually stumped me. I'm number 1.
Oh, predicting the future. That predicting the future.
Oh, yes, there you go. I'm number 1 in accurately predicting how today was going to launch. I'm number 1. Brain psychic. Okay? There you go. Yeah, I don't have a sound alert out.
That teases me because I wanted more balls.
You know, there's really no twisting that one. There's no twisting that one. Car can just, likes. He likes.
You can't twist the balls.
Oopsie.
Oh God, no! Stop. This is a family friendly show.
Karkin.
Okay, family friendly. All right. Yeah.
Shut the heck up, Karkin.
Oh lordy. All right. So here you go.
Messed up.
Welsh Warlock says, apparently, supposedly, if you launch an outpost and walk away from your computer, not touching anything, it may run all 72 waves.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Lizard.
That's a good one.
Lizard.
Can't have nice things.
I think I foolbot this.
Why? Because it's Arcfall Day. All right, now, here's the deal. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, Warlock, that is inaccurate information. I have...
Tarkin, shut the hell up!
I'm going to have to turn these off here in a second.
If I don't open it, then later I can claim ignorance, right?
I'm going to have to turn these off here in just a second, okay? Because we have a lot of stuff that we are going to record tonight. We're going to report back. We have been in touch with some folks today. All right, we've been in. I've made some phone calls and things of that nature. Griffin will be back in just a moment. He said the Ark is literally killing me, giving myself the Heimlich. Kidding.
DJz, you can always use the mining sweeps for your G7 mining goals. Oh, wait, those don't work either.
Yes.
Back to you, DJz.
Thank you. Appreciate that for the update on the bug report. Yes, G7 mining sweeps are not functional. Away teams are not working. Most armadas are not working. And there was something else. Oh, rating. Rating is not working. Yes. You can indeed crack a base. You cannot.
This stupid game.
You can't loot from it. Okay, so there's not that. Listen, we know all this. All right, and we're going to We're going to relay what we can. I am going to turn off alerts and overlays here in just a little bit so that we can do a little bit of testing and send some stuff back. Maple Butter says, wait, what? No, rating is not working. Stay unshielded. I'll be more than happy to stay unshielded. You're not going to be able to scoop me. You can crack me, just can't scoop me. So lots of problems today. Okay. What I can tell you is they know everything. All right. I've been very vocal and I've had many conversations today, and I've relayed a lot of information and a lot of sentiment. I reiterated the comments that I've made over the last 2 weeks with regards to my expectations for today's launch, my sentiment regarding the conversation I was able to have with General Manager Connor, and even more so, I'm going to read. Allow me to do this. I'm going to actually read something here. I'm going to turn the alerts off, and I want to read this. This came from a player, and I'm not going to read his name. He is a wildly influential player in this community. He is super active, been on our Discord for years. All right. And I'm going to read a couple of excerpts. I'm beyond frustrated with the game right now. My hostiles just stopped coming in the Outpost. I'm usually very forgiving of technical issues, much like I am, and will try to find a workaround, but my ships have now been stuck over 3 hours using a crew that I want to use elsewhere, and my ships are inaccessible. Crew, inaccessible. Sent a ticket, auto closed. Juice not worth the squeeze. I'm very upset with the launch of this arc on the heels of an absolutely horrible technical launch with the launch of G7. I was very excited with the build of G7, very happy with the design of the Veil, the opportunity to meet and interact with new players. None of the technical issues with that content have been addressed in the last 30 days. Now you launch a feature that ties up many of my resources I use on a daily basis for up to 6 hours at a time, and even worse now that they don't work and my stuff is stuck. The content is supposed to last for up to 6 hours if I can actually survive that long, and we're getting a fraction of that and therefore a fraction of the rewards. On top of that, the rewards don't even seem to justify the time with my ships tied up. On top of that, Scopely has been mum on a cadence. They launch multi-tier primes and launch a building that costs $1,700 just to take to the point where I can refine G7 materials. Yet you tell me that the content will only be available for 60 days. After that, it's anybody's guess. Anybody remember Saris Invasion? What about Crucible of War? These are features, and not to mention the beloved War Room. Yet, month after month, you release content that doesn't work. Then, instead of fixing the issues, you release more content that doesn't work. I have reached the point that I don't even want to play the content that I might actually enjoy. An example of this was arenas. I love doing arenas. I took a 3-week break because I was busy with the G7 launch. I did a few this week, and I'll never do them again. I don't even understand what they did to impact arenas, but my interaction with arenas this past week was at an all-time low. It's getting to a point where this game is no longer worth playing because it is problem after problem, failure to launch after failure to launch, and Scopely sees absolutely no problem with shoving broken, defective, and irresponsible content down the players' throats. Content is never fixed, restored, revisited, and therefore never getting the value that you're asking us to spend on it. Again, I love and enjoy the game, but this player has reached their end. You have yet again lost another player who has joined the ranks of the 13,000. With the loss of these hardcore players, you will no longer soon have a player base. I sincerely hope you change your ways, and unfortunately, I'm sorry I won't be around to see it. Sincerely, a completely frustrated ex-player. Wow. Now, Ben Sai says they keep seeing the feedback. They eventually shut down the game. See, I disagree, Ben. I think they keep seeing this feed. You know what? That's possible. They could shut down the game if they can't fix it. All right? But I'm not going to go down that path because I don't think that we're there. I don't think the game is ready to shut down. I don't think they want to take it into maintenance mode. I don't think any of these things are what the halls of Culver City sound like right now. What I think, what Scopely should take away from this is that your most dedicated, loyal, and invested players have absolutely had enough. Look at me. I am the ever optimist, rosy-eyed, rose-colored glasses shill. You guys used to say that Scopely could just blow a kiss in my direction and I would forgive all ills. I don't feel like I've been in that camp here for the last several months. Certainly not over the last 60 days. And absolutely 1,000% not over the last 2 weeks. This failure to launch was 100% predictable. I called it. I warned you. I said exactly what would happen. And you pulled the trigger anyway. This goes far beyond the irresponsibility of Carol Freeman, which, by the way, I called that. And I'm not here to pat myself on the back. I'm not here to say that I know the game better than anybody else. But there are some things that we can see. There are some things that are so painfully obvious that it blows my mind that you couldn't possibly be aware of them. Off the heels of one of the worst technological implementation launches of the entire history of the game, you launched this feature. When in playtest after playtest after playtest, it did not function to the point we would expect it to. Let me rephrase. Yet no delay was given. No pause was foresaw. No consideration to your paying customers was given. Instead, we're going to launch a product knowing it is faulty. Depending on what your product is. I mean, we're lucky this is a video game. If this were a water heater, you could burn down somebody's house. If it was a vehicle, you could kill a human being. We're lucky that this is a video game. It does not excuse you from the passing of an unplayable product onto your paying consumers. There is absolutely no excuse for launching a horribly defective product month after month after month with absolutely horrible implementation, complete ineptitude when it comes to engineering, missing deadline after deadline after deadline, and promise after promise after promise to your community of improving the state of the game. We are 7 years in. The game should be spinning like a top right now. You guys have had 7 years to figure it out. Yet, we find ourselves here today in the absolute worst possible place that a video game could find themselves in. Completely unplayable, with a community at their breaking point, full of rage, with absolutely zero trust, zero positive sentiment, and zero faith that you're ever going to get it right. You guys are in dangerous, dangerous territory. Griffin, I don't know what to honestly say other than, hey, we're here. Your customers are here. We're trying. We're being very, very patient. And why? Why should we be? I am going to ask Griffin to play devil's advocate. He's even more positive than me. Griffin, tell the players, why should we want to continue playing Fleet Command?
You know, it's very difficult to answer that question without a heap of much deserved criticism, as we just heard so eloquently delivered by UltimatDJz. The basics are there. We love the property. We love the concept. We love the community and the people we surround ourselves with in playing this game. We've come to build friendships, relationships. We've made family. The one person invited to Thanksgiving dinner in this family is the one that seems to continually let us down year after year after year when it comes to these implementations. Today is definitely a sad day because, again, we are enticed with a very compelling game design, a very compelling feature, a well thought out economy. And the one problem with it is it just doesn't seem to work. And this has been all too common.
Wow.
It's like month after month after month, it's the same story. And I'm not saying that from a pessimistic Debbie Downer way. As somebody who has worked in leadership and management my entire life, you learn to find patterns, identify the problem. And the problem here is literally just sticking up like a nail waiting to be hammered because it's the same group month after month after month, which brings us back to this place. I feel terrible, not just for the players, not for those of you watching at home who are enjoying playing the game historically, as I have been. I feel bad for the people that come to work every day and try to make the best possible product that they can, because it's not, though it is a team failure, we win or lose as a team, and Scopely is no exception. There are many people pulling in the right direction to make amazing things happen. And on days like this, it's very difficult to watch a baby that you've been working on for half a year, I'm sure, you give birth and somebody dropped the ball and everybody's mad. I don't really know what to say because I believe that Scopely and those in charge of this particular product know what the issue is. They just seem to have a problem with making the decision to lead us towards a solution. Love the game, love the property, love the concepts, love the new cool things that are promised every month. It's simply the implementation where we continually fall short over and over and over. And that's all I got to say about it. I'm not archiving my account. I'm not going anywhere today. But dang it, if it's not just a sour taste in the mouth, and it's not these gummies that I'm stress eating as a result of this, to invest money and build a brand around something that is just not doing what it's supposed to do. Never too late to turn it around.
Well,
but
I
enough is
disagree.
enough, and it's time for a change.
I disagree. I think that there will come a point, and I am afraid that we are approaching that point with a lot of the community. I feel like there are a number of players, thousands of players, who have already reached the point and said that it is too late to turn it around.
Well, sure. Churn is a thing. Churn is in every game. Churn is in every property. There will always be churn. But you're accelerating your own churn dramatically. And you don't have to be. That's the point I'm trying to make. The concept, the franchise, the property, the ideas are all very good and fun and compelling. The community is world class. You'll be hard pressed to find another video game property with the type of community and demographic that Star Trek Fleet Command has. It's a unicorn. It is a purple squirrel.
It is,
but
which is all the more reason. And I have to point this out. That's all the more reason that you should cherish what you have. You have something special here. Treat it as such. All right? You have a community that has proven to be diehard loyal. Yet, they are continually mistreated. They are continually rewarded with ineptitude. They are continually offered defective product. That does not scream gratitude. It does not scream appreciation. It does not scream customer satisfaction. It does not scream any of those things. It screams a lack of caring. It screams a lack of integrity. It screams a lack of capability. And for the record, I don't expect it to turn on a dime. All right, Duder, I fully acknowledge that things take time to improve. The problem is, for me, and the same thing that I read to you guys literally 24 hours ago in a letter that I penned and responded to the general manager of this product and said the exact same thing. I don't expect it to turn on a dime, but I need to see proof of concept. I need to see evidence. I need to see a step, a mere step in the right direction. Yet today we took 10 backwards.
And, you know, it's so predictable that you can literally analyze the implementation and the production schedule of this particular property and compare it to others that are wildly successful. And it, like I said, it just sticks out like a sore thumb. Maybe you've heard of a franchise called Grand Theft Auto, UltimatDJz. And GTA 5 was released in 2013, 12 years ago. You know, it's still going strong. GTA Online is played by hundreds of thousands of people every single week. And yet, 13 years into the property and on the heels of releasing GTA 6 next year, they still update the content, but they don't do it every month. And they never have done it every month. They do weekly events and weekly series, much like our 3-week battle passes. But instead of entire new tentpoles and entire new features every single month, no. Weekly, there's a couple new skins. There are a couple new prizes. There's a couple new events, whatever. Only twice a year, 2 times a year, does Rockstar Games add features to the level of a G7 or of a Outpost into the game. Twice a year. We do it every 30 days and wonder why things don't quite work the way they should and why we never quite get around to perfecting them before moving on to the next one. I will throw down my sword and I'll say, this monthly update schedule, it needs to be reevaluated, and I'll go even further, say it needs to be stopped. How many times do we need to be here where we are today before we can admit to ourselves, you know what? This production schedule is killing us. And it might have worked in 2020, but keeping a 7-year-old game running with all this paints a coat on top of it, we can't deliver on this promise anymore. I'm speaking obviously for the company. I can't speak for the company, but that's my perception. It seems as though if we were to simply dial our expectations back in terms of the content we were going to deliver to a quarterly model or a semi-annual model, God forbid, like Rockstar Games does, the net result would be so incredibly positive. Your ideas would last longer. Your property would last longer. You'd keep people around for longer. People will play for longer. We don't need these patches every month like this, you guys. Come up with 3 great ideas and give them to us once every 4 months.
Certainly not like this. I can 100% agree. I have, for years, there have been voices in the community that say, take a month off and fix bugs. And I have always teetered on the edge of accepting that argument simply because I know that they work in pods. There's different people that have different responsibilities, and people who are fixing bugs are not the ones designing new content and not the ones building new content, and et cetera, et cetera. The point that we have reached in this game, though, has forced even me to reevaluate the same kind of voices that have been in the community for years, in which we have now seen definitive evidence that this team is no longer capable of delivering reliable, dependable, and consistent product on a monthly cadence. All right?
You're just trying to do too much, you guys. It's too much. Look at your patch notes this month. It's 4 months worth of content you could drag out.
But, not only that, I mean, okay, let's look at this content right here today. Okay? You have come out and said, hey, we're going to give you this content for 2 months. After that, who knows? All right? There's a problem here with this. You're asking players to invest money in a building. You're asking players to invest hundreds of dollars into a multi-tier prime. And for the first time ever, hey, credit to this, that you've actually, for the first time ever, come out and said, hey, the expectation of your investment is going to last you 60 days. Hey, at least they were honest with us this time. Okay? But how does that instill confidence? How does that instill a value into this product? How are we expected to justify to spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on a piece of content that we don't know is going to provide a reliable timing and a reliable consistency with a reliable cadence after only 60 days? I mean, there are people that are spending on this content today. I know that they are. I have no problem with that. I see value in some of this content. And if I knew that this content had a strict schedule, if I knew that this content had a cadence, if I knew that this content wasn't going to be another War Room or a Saris Invasion or any of the other number of products that we never see again or that are just abandoned, like Flashpoint. I mean, how do we know that this technological foobar is not so serious that we end up with another Flashpoint scenario? Yet we are still asking the players to invest money.
Yep.
This is a problem. This is a culture problem. It is a disconnect from your consumer-based problem. All right? Asking players to invest money in this degree of product is unacceptable.
We have definitely clearly identified the pattern of we're doing things this way because we've always done them this way, instead of reevaluating the result and adapting.
It's time for an exchange of new ideas. Scopely, you've got a problem. Star Trek Fleet Command has a problem. And it is time to source a new solution. This level of product delivery is not acceptable. Hasn't been. And will no longer be tolerated by this community. I think players are at their wits' end. You can take a look in the chat. If you're watching on playback, if you're in the audience live, which I know some of you are, thank you for watching. I'm sorry that this has to be the tone of the conversation tonight. But it is a purely self-inflicted wound. This lies at your doorstep. So, now the question becomes, how do you respond? It can't be with another blog post or another video saying, I'm sorry. It can't be with another laundry list of we're going to do better. It's time for you to put your actions into your mouth, or whatever that saying actually is. I'm pretty sure I just messed that up. Oops.
You completely messed that up.
Thank you.
But I think I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You need to put your words into action.
Thank you. How about that? Okay? Put your money where your mouth is. Today.
And we do put our money where our mouth is, by the way. If you just think that we're two yahoos sitting around, complaining about a game that we don't positively contribute to, I will give you an exhibit. Here's Exhibit A. It's right here on the whale cam. It's right there, you guys. This doesn't happen because I sit around and complaining and don't like and invest your game. Okay? You see the level on that building.
We have repeatedly.
You know what it takes to get there.
Hey, we've spent money, and I saw this comment in chat, and I'm gonna respond to it because I think it's a very fair perspective. You say this, you say you're not happy, yet you continue to spend. Some people do, and I find no problem with that. All right, some people will spend on what they see value in, and some people may be okay spending money on a product that's going to last for 60 days. That's fine. Griffin spent money today to teach. I've spent money to teach. A lot of us have spent money in the name of science, in the name of testing, in the name of community information. All right. I've spent money on absolutely stupid things before. Griffin spent money. Griffin spent money on absolutely stupid things today. Okay? We do that in an effort to teach and to educate, and like what we're going to do tonight. We're going to keep our fingers crossed that we can cross the tracks, that we can get to the rainbow on the other side of this dark bridge. And we're going to teach tonight in hopes that you will be able to use this teaching in content in the near future. What I can tell you is that this content is not playable today. I do not recommend that anybody engage. You can do your battle pass. You can do whatever else you want to do in the game. You can farm some old stuff. You can get caught up on some new stuff. You can get caught up on some
do those
loops,
dailies.
elite waves. Do your dailies, the ones that work.
Get that faction rep going.
But right here, this new feature, the G7 expansion, that is maybe at 50% performance. Those are things that no longer deserve my engagement. All right. And I don't like saying that. I'm a partnered content creator for this company. I have to choose my words very carefully. But here today, I draw a line in the sand and say it's time to wake up. You got to do better. My obligation to the community, my obligation to you, Scopely, is exactly what I'm doing right here and now, is calling you to be accountable, is calling you to wake up and smell the community's roses. You've got to do better. You've got to do better.
And it's not the ideas. The ideas don't suck. The concept of what we want to bring into the game every month does not suck at all. It's simply the implementation, the technical side of it, that we really need to slow down on until we get things right. We can't release content every single month for the sake of hitting a target on a calendar. We got to come up with great ideas and draw out their releases and give people time to make them work.
The team is not, in its current form, delivering a product that is playable. Give them a chance to do that. Get help. Hire people. Educate and train. I don't know what the answer is. I don't. If I did, then I would run a successful video game.
You know, one shining bright corner of the day, I don't know from firsthand experience, but I would imagine, I bet you the big highlight here, the shining star of the moment, is probably the mid-ops battle pass or launch or goals, whatever we call that feature, where we're really focusing on the G3, G4 content that's already in the game and helping those people accelerate. I bet you those players are having a great day. Because all that stuff basically works. Yeah,
I have indeed heard that. I've heard that Ops 50 and down are having a lovely day. All right.
As they should. That's great. That's a good thing.
War Daddy knocking it out of the park. That's what I've heard. Even in dev chat, I've heard nothing but praise for what's happening mid-arc or mid-ops.
You know, that's the right person for that job. Nobody cares more about this property than War Daddy. And when I heard that they put him in charge of this and figuring this out, that takes to mind somebody the likes of which only probably War Daddy has to make this work for the G3s and G4s and make it fun and compelling and new while reusing content that's already in the game. Couldn't have picked a better person for that, in my opinion. Just literally the Oscar goes to War Daddy for having the mind to make that beautiful. And I'm sure he did.
It not only comes down to that, but I think that's actually a very, very good point. And to elaborate on that further, he knows the game.
Yeah.
I mean, plain and simple. He knows the game.
Knows. You're saying that's the wrong word. He loves the game.
He does. He loves the property. He loves the math. He takes pride in his design. I got to be honest with you. That to me is a huge, I've said this for months. This to me is a huge, huge culture problem at Scopely. All right? Because I sense no pride. I see no pride here. I see nothing that screams, I want to make sure my product works. I see nothing here that compels me to believe that the team responsible for implementing this feature today crossed their T's and dotted their I's?
You assume too much. You don't know that. You
You're
don't
right.
know that.
I don't. I am simply but a consumer with one extra advantage. I saw this 2 weeks ago.
Here's the thing, off with their heads. Listen, you guys, we don't work there. We have no clue. They could be waving the same red flag that DJz is waving, but they respond to somebody up higher who's saying, do it anyway. We've already paid for it. Get it out. We don't know that. We don't know where the problem comes from. And I think, though, DJz, you're saying pride is, I have a better word for you. I think it's reverence. It's not just about pride. It's about, like War Daddy, knowing the franchise, knowing the property, knowing the game, knowing the history, knowing the community. And that's a very hard thing to buy or to recruit. So, I don't want people to think that we're just, dumping on a team or group of people for the sake of doing so. It's just, the qualities that War Daddy has, if they could duplicate that, we would be in a much better place than we are now. I will agree with you.
We need
DJ.
a clone. Speaking of, did you guys read this ESPN article today? Tom Brady.
No, what you?
Tom Brady announced that his dog is indeed an actual clone. Like, dude, it's the seventh day up in here. All right, his dog is a biological DNA clone. I thought that was
cool. You can't clone the memories. You can't clone the soul.
Well,
Barbara Streisand is on her third different clone dog, and she's been doing it for over 10 years.
There you go. All right, let's get a few more copies of War Daddy up there. All right, can we do that?
I have gummy worm wrappers now all over. And let me tell you, if you're worried if things are still consistent in this world, some things do never change. You might have known this from the 80s, but it's just as true today. You cannot pound Haribo gummy bears as much as you love them or as stressed as you are. You cannot pound these down, because if you eat one bag too many, just let me tell you, if there's not a toilet within 10 feet of where you are, you're going to have a bad day.
It's all
a really bad day.
It's like the alcohol sugar in that or whatever. Do you got to go? He's going to visit the Vengeance, everybody.
No,
all right.
I'm picking up my wrappers. I did visit the Vengeance at the top of the show, and let me tell you.
I was going to say.
The sugar alcohol.
The biggest issue would be if you tried to eat an entire bag of the sugar-free ones.
Yeah, bad news bears. Literally.
Oh, I have a really horrible idea for for Chicago.
Nope. Not doing it. Speaking of Chicago, ladies and gentlemen,
good news, everybody. I found an S. I found a Snicker S under the table.
Fantastic. That's good. Listen, speaking of Chicago, all right, let's go ahead and invite our resident Chicagan to the stage and talk about what we do know and what we will be able to demonstrate here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mad Scientist from the Talking Trek Laboratory. Ladies and gentlemen, Jules Verne is here. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you. How are you?
How do you have the whole entire spreadsheet filled out if I stopped at 71? You didn't already have all that data, did you?
No, he definitely
Well,
counted on.
71?
He definitely relies and appreciates the fact that you were
He
willing
already
to.
had all that data?
No, not all of it.
I don't have all that data.
Yeah,
He just assumed I had all that data because I get data from lots of sources.
Lots of places.
But I
Is
don't
it
have all the
is
data,
it
so I can
is it
always use
because I'm
more.
a lifelong Cardinals fan and you figured that out and now you're my secret enemy?
It could be.
Could be.
Maybe that.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screen where we will indeed transition from monologue into science. That is what we always do here on ARC Launch Day. We're going to break into the mechanics of the feature. We're going to talk about the math, and we will do some on-screen testing of these abilities. Jules, every single faction here, we've got Cardassian, we've got Borg, we've got the Node. They all have different abilities. They have different buffs, but also the targets themselves have abilities, and there is a target that has already presented itself early as one that is easier to actually combat given the current tools that we've got in the game. Let's take a look first and talk about the loop in general. Jules, what is an outpost and why, if they were functional, should a player want to participate?
Oh no, I knew you were going to say that.
Sure. So an outpost is a target is a nondescript generic target that actually consists of, I would say, 3 different phases. So you're currently looking at the Outpost Control Center. I think you want to go over to the system map. The Outpost Control Center is the building that gives you all the building details. But if you look at the system map, it actually will give you more about the actual targets we're going to be hitting. These outposts are broken up into 4 different factions. The independent outposts are just basically your tutorial outposts, and those are only exist at level 51. And then you have 3 other types, the Borg, Cardassian, and the Node. Each of these outposts have a difficulty added to them in the form of an ability that's going to attack you. And they also offer different buffs that you could activate once holding them. Now, you don't need to activate once holding them. And all 3 of the major factions have the same actual loot that you can gain from each one. So if you were proposing to do a strategy in which you are only attacking these for the loot themselves and not actually to activate the buffs, then it doesn't really matter which one you hit. The only thing that you need to be aware of at that point is the ability of the outpost itself and how you're going to combat that outpost. Crit floor is universal against all the outpost ability. We're still working on updating the sheet, so if you're watching live right now, this is something that we're going to still continue to fill in. But each of the main factions actually has a specific ability attached to that, and that's going to increase as you go up in level. So in the Borg outpost, it's isolatic damage. Now, I will also remind you that any crewing or buffs or any other types of activatable things that are against a specific type of target. So if it's against players, if it's against hostiles, if it's against armadas, if it's against mission bosses, if it's against anything that has a qualifier at all, they do not work against these. You can only use generic officers like 5 of 11 or Khan, or generic buffs like the Cerritos, or even using a max fortified to give you some bonuses. But anything that has a specific modifier on there, a specific target selection, will not work. The other 2, we have the Node and we have the Cardassians left. The Node is going to essentially do, I would call this more like a Tau-like ability. I think they call it like hypothermic decay, but I don't think there's a counter for that, which you would think that the Recon Locus is the counter. I may be wrong, so I'm hoping people here can correct me.
Yeah, so there's a display bug there. The battle log is displaying hyperthermic decay. It is not hypothermic decay. It's using a similar mechanic, which all boils down to burning. But it is not. It is called psionic assault, which is why the Recon Locus building will not function. It is essentially a burning ability that will strip your hull by that amount every single round. So while it functions the same as burning and hypothermic decay, and while yet another bug to be added to the list, the battle logs display hypothermic decay, the Recon Locus building and its effects are not countering that, because this is intended to be a form of decay referred to as psionic assault. All right.
Yeah, so it's very much like Tau or like burning, in which it's going to remove your whole health, which is pretty difficult if you're trying to survive to the next wave. The last type is the Cardassian outposts, which have a very high apex barrier. And as we've discussed on this podcast, and if you discussed before, is there any generic apex shred at all?
I believe that we determined that there was a chaos tech. I believe. No, we took that back. Yeah.
The Godsend, yeah, exactly. So the Godsend's damage ability is the one that is universal because its modifiers don't work. It's the Apex Shred against hostiles is still against hostiles, and it does work. Therefore, it cannot work against the Outpost, which is not a hostile. So currently, the Apex barrier that you see here, you will have to get through it all in order to get into that Outpost and defeat that Outpost. So I think that the Node is definitely the hardest because it's just going to strip your hull, regardless of how successful you are against the Outpost. And that can be a really big drawback as you start to get into the next phase of combat. So that is the Outpost ability in the loot. Maybe we need some I'm going to need to put some borders in here to kind of divide between the wave 2 and the wave 1s. And it looks like I lost my wave 1 in here. But the wave
Yeah, I only see
1
wave 2 up there.
Yeah, we did some modification to this, and I think I lost all of the titles. But we'll get that done.
Now,
we're doing it live.
In regards to waves, let's we've done a lot of teaching over the last 72 hours that do indicate what a wave consists of. If you've missed some of that content, we are going to relay that for you here again, which is indeed that a wave 1 consists of the first 42 hostiles. All right, the first 42 that you combat will give you the rewards from wave 1. Once you clear those first 42 hostiles, you're going to then graduate or transition over to wave 2, which will be the final 30 hostiles. They do increase in difficulty as we were told. Nobody has been able to actually test that or see one in application because of the way that they're freezing and not working. So that is what the information that we're working with right now. But with regards to the rewards, what we do know is what we can get off of wave 1. And we'll go through those currencies and the way that those are working and what you can redeem for those here shortly. Also, just as a quick reminder, we will be coming in-game here very shortly and actually testing some of these, because one of the things that we did see in the playtest in pieces of it was that these outposts themselves can be relatively tricky to combat with the crews that we've got currently available in the game. So what we're going to do is we are going to use the starts that we've got, and we're going to come in and demonstrate some of the difficulty in what the outpost itself represents. Not only that, but then the retaliation targets that come thereafter. Now, I am curious. I am seeing in chat that players have made it to wave 2. I'm curious about how that's happened, because there were technical limitations that were breaking these things. So I'm curious, maybe were you doing it independent? Are you in the node, or what outpost do you have? Because I didn't think, based on the bug reports that I saw today, I did not believe it to be possible for you to get that far. Nerf says that he's only got 15 enemies left, which is great. That's still 75 more minutes. So maybe we can check back in with him here in just a little bit and see what the behavior is when that gets to the end. But yeah, we'll take a look and see how those hostiles. So let me ask, since Manxman is in chat and is allegedly here in wave 2, can you confirm that the wave 2 retaliation targets are indeed more difficult, or are they the same targets and just dropping a new and different currency now? Are they the same target for all 72, or does it indeed increase in difficulty as we would expect a wave 2 to do? We're going to check in the chat and see. They say that they are significantly more difficult, higher power, higher level. So very, very curious on how that is going to play out, and we'll see how that goes. So Jules, coming back to the chart, we will talk and actually we're going to continue on with the agenda that we've got here this evening, but I am being told that communications are inbound.
Ooh, breaking news. I'll keep my eye out on the Discord.
Yeah, not at this particular moment, but it appears that we will have a direct response to our frustrations community. So I do know, and again, I echo what Griffin said earlier. Nothing about this is personal. Nothing at all. This is purely business, professional, and a business response to a very challenging day. So I will apologize in advance if anybody is personally frustrated or feels singled out or any of that stuff based on my comments. As you guys know, I have great personal relationships with a great number of staffers at Fleet Command. So I will apologize if anybody feels personally spoken to by my comments. That is certainly not it. But I will thank those players or those staffers who are in our audience and chat here tonight. Thank you for being present. Thank you for listening. And I look forward to the communication that we will see here momentarily. So we'll keep an eye on the Discord, and we'll bring that to you live as it develops. Jules, what else do we have on the charts here?
Well, I just wanted to say that there has been some responses already from players who have reached Wave 2 saying that they are one level higher. So if you're battling a 66 outpost, you'll see a 67 retaliation hostile in the Wave 2. And they seem to have a little bit larger of DPR. So that's what we can expect. So it does seem like they've been targeted to be just a little bit tougher. And again, you still have to get through 30 of those to show. So I think eventually as we build this chart out, we will create a chart that kind of gives you the max amount of credits and the max amount of medals and components and all the things, excluding items from chests that would be chance, just to kind of show you what that maximum for completing each of these outposts is. I will say on broadly, looking at what it actually takes. So just looking at credits, I was kind of looking at my credit income, just trying to see in balance what I would get from defeating certain ones and how we could then go into the refinery tab and claim one of those bundles. And the credits you get for just defeating the actual outpost roughly, very roughly equals the total amount of credits that you would get from defeating all of the retaliation hostiles. Now, there's other benefits from getting those retaliation hostiles, but if we just look at the credits alone, for instance, if that is the reward type we actually want from this loop, then you can basically double your loot if you can get through all of the waves. But if your goal is to just get credits, you may have a better time punching up to the next level or the next generation up if you can only defeat the outpost and then you're going to die to the hostiles. And I actually have an example of that defeating a level 73 outpost because I really wanted those credits right off the bat. But I died to the very second hostile, so I didn't even make it to the bug. So that's just a strategy that you can kind of look into as you start to look at these loot charts. Do we want to talk about buffs, or you want to move on to refinery first and then talk about buffs later? I don't know what kind of strategy.
I would like to take a look at the buffs because there are, for example, we spoke here just a few moments ago about the styles of abilities that these outposts have with regards to the Borg outpost being isolated damage and crit floor, the Node outpost having the burning or the psionic assault ability and a crit floor. If I'm not mistaken, I think they all have a 150% crit floor. But then the Cardassian outpost having the additional apex barrier. What is important for players to assess here as you are determining what outpost you want to go after is not only the ease in which you are defeating the outpost and therefore the retaliation hostiles, but the buffs that they provide. Now, I am being told that there is an in-game news, so Griffin, let's go ahead and hop inside our station very quickly and see what we can find. Breaking news.
Oh, yes, I have it right here.
From the news desk, all right? So, here we go. Commanders. The fixes for 2 of the solo outpost launch issues are now live on all servers. The team has completed sanity checks on US and EU and are monitoring live performance. What happened? In some cases, outposts ended earlier than intended after a client restart. Some outpost upgrades also did not apply correctly. The root cause at a high level is that a timing calculation in a safety routine was or could prematurely end an active outpost after a restart. That configuration moved from staging to live in error. For upgrades, a deployment problem blocked the change that validates the upgrade state. What we did was apply a safe configuration, bundled the timing and upgrade fixes, validated them, and deployed them to all servers in live. What we can expect now is that outpost sessions should remain active after a restart. The buffs should apply correctly. We will continue to watch for edge cases and address any that appear. The follow-up in the near hours will be reviewing impact and delivering appropriate compensation via in-game news. in the coming days. Why was this not caught earlier? The timing issue required a specific restart sequence with live settings. One internal test environment had a deployment issue that limited reproduction before launch. We have corrected that environment and added restart and persistence checks to our release process. We will share another update if further action is needed. So,
that's good communication. That's very thorough.
I do appreciate that communication, and it kind of makes sense with regards to this timing calculation. That's why players were saying, Jules, that they could get to 5 or 6 hostiles. That would consistently be 25 to 30 minutes. So what then? A reboot?
They didn't say that. There's no section on what you need to do, what we need to do.
No. What I'm saying is what I'm interpreting from this is that the configuration of this session was prematurely ending, or there was an expiration. Now, you know what? I actually, I'm going to blame Pack for this one. Okay? I'm going to blame Pack for this one because obviously we didn't have 6 hours to play test this. What we had done, I shouldn't say Pack, is not just Pack play tested this, but during that play test, Griffin, we actually had a different timing cadence because we couldn't play test.
We were
it for
on a
6
very
hours.
accelerated. We were on an accelerated path for sure.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we received hostiles every 30 minutes or every 30 seconds. So I'm going to do a little bit of math here. Every 30 seconds, 72 hostiles times 0.5. I'd be willing to bet there was your configuration. 36 minutes, Jules.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. That
no.
That is 100% Pack's fault right there.
I see where you're driving right there.
Yeah.
Womp, womp,
Yeah.
womp.
This is this was the playtest configuration. Okay. This actually was the playtest configuration because our model was accelerated in playtest. Now, Pixelated said if it's a 6-hour feature, you have to test it at least once in full. Come on. Bro, I did not play test this for 6 hours. Okay.
We are not the testers.
Yeah.
There are other people who did that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We're just saying
I would.
That number looks very familiar to us in our lived experience.
Yeah. Yeah, because we did indeed play this on an accelerated model. Now, I am not absolutely saying that somebody on the Scopely side should have caught that. I think 100% without a shadow of a doubt. This should have been caught. Someone modified the game design for us for the purposes of the playtest. So why was that not reverted back for live environment? That is a very silly oversight. I mean, it was modified for the purposes of us playtesting it. So when we're done playtesting it, we got to put it back. You know? However, I can sense this being how that particular bug happened. Okay. So
future playtest canceled.
Fire Pack, blame Pack. This is my fault. You got it, Dahagas. I told you 2 weeks ago this was all going to be my fault. Okay. I predicted this.
But you didn't say. Okay, no, you said it was not going to work. You didn't say it was all your fault that it didn't work.
It's getting cold in here. I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit. So anyway.
The other shoe has dropped.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. Now, what is interesting is that it is being reported that in some cases, this configuration was having an issue. So that does actually lend credence to the fact that if you loaded up the game and did not deviate, did not close, did not go to a screensaver, didn't change windows, didn't restart the client, literally just sat there and watched it, then you probably did fine. So there we go. The fix has been implemented server side, and now that configuration should no longer be an issue. So what we will actually be able to do then this evening is actually go in and test this, and we will start doing that here momentarily. As a matter of fact, Jules, let's talk about the buffs very quickly. Then we're going to start one. We're going to let those hostiles kind of run here for a little bit while we go into the loot, rewards, and refinery, and then we'll come back and see how we did. All right. So let's switch back over to Jules' teaching, and we'll come in and talk about the next thing Jules wanted to do, and then we will actually start one. Okay.
Great. So if you actually scroll to the right, we have just adjacent to the loot and system map chart, we actually have the buff map. And we will be able to fill this in, and this is going to take quite a bit of player input as people kind of actually are able to upgrade each of these buffs, because each level, and I believe that there is 10 of all of these buffs, has a different cost and a different buff percentage, and it does not appear to be linear. So we do need some support and some help kind of like being able to narrow down those numbers.
Don't look at me.
If anyone here in the community starts to record and upgrade these buffs and would like to provide that data, you can go ahead and DM myself. You can also find a data collection channel in the Officer Tool Discord, which me and my collaborators read fairly often. So I would appreciate any help we can get. But what you have here at least is the buffs and the costs at their base values, their max values, just the buffs. You don't have the cost just yet. And then you can kind of see how we're filling in some of these values here. So one of the things that I wanted to explain here is that all Borg outposts have the same first buff, which is isolated defense versus retaliation hostiles. Every single level, doesn't matter what generation or level it is, will have that buff. Now, this is supposed to help you kind of progress further against those retaliation hostiles after then capturing the outpost. Then each of the levels that ends in a 3, so 53, 63, and 73, will have the same 2 buffs. However, the cost and the buff percentage will also change within those. So that's ISO defense, crit chance. And that same pattern kind of continues. So if you're trying to target, say, hey, I need apex barrier against a particular target of hostile, but you can't hit the level 70s, well, then you may want to jump down to the level 60s if you want that particular buff. I think it's probably more noticeable if you look at either the node outposts. If you scroll down, you'll see the node outposts. These focus on PvP abilities, and you may want something as specific as PvP shred. Or even further down in the Cardassian outpost, this is more the utility one. And this may have things like loot. So if loot from hostiles and Armada is your biggest thing, or saying max cargo is your biggest thing, then you may want to hit a very specific target of Cardassian in order to get the buff that you want.
Now, I want to point out here, absolutely, and I want to point out some of these values. I have seen questions in the chat. The buffs are temporary, so why would we care? Well, there's a couple of reasons why you might, which is simply that if you are going to use the outpost actively and use these buffs in other areas of the game, then you might want to consider doing that. The question then becomes, are the buffs necessarily worth using in other areas of the game? Are they worth using alongside this outpost? I'm going to look at the Cardassian outpost, for example, and take a look at loot from hostiles and armadas, which starts at 1%, but even at max pays a mere 25%. Now, more is more.
Ew.
But we've got officers that will single-handedly give 100%. We've got artifacts and chaos tech and research that provide many, many percents more. I mean, I am not aware of anything in the game at max that gives a mere 25% loot bonus. Now, that is the G5. Let's go on up to the G7 targets, for example. That would be a level 73. And, well, at max, it gives 50%. Okay, maybe it's not loot that we want to look at. Maybe it's hull health. All right. We know hull health is something that is very, very important. Let's take a look at hull health. We can start at 25%. That would max out at 400%. Now, 400% looks like a good number. However, players in the middle of the road G6 at this point will experience hull health in the game at north of 10,000%. So is 400% going to do a significant amount of life extension? Well, I would predict that 400% would not earn you even one additional shot in a PvE target, not in G6. All right. This kind of comes back to what we talked about with the officer, Tendi. Remember? In the very beginning, she was great. Later in this game, when we're seeing thousands of % of hull health being added to the game, Tendi is no longer a viable option. She no longer makes an impact. I would, just based off of right now, first glimpse, looking at these buffs, Jules, I don't see anything at all that would entice me to play this actively. I do still maintain
hazard resistance.
All right, hazard resistance, 6%, maxing at 60%. Fair enough.
I mean, and then this is really for a very select group of people in very select situations where they want that hazard resistance. And I think one of the key here is like maybe you're only using it for a short time. But I think hazard resistance will probably activate like a Galaxy exocomp. And all of these act like Galaxy exocomps. Mm-hmm. If it's combat, you must have your ship. You can activate anytime, even if your ship is deployed, and that combat buff will work against those targets. If it is a utility buff or like a station buff, which it doesn't really affect your deployed ships, but your Galaxy buffs, you actually have to have the ship docked, activate the exocomp, or in this case, the buff, and then deploy the ship. And then it'll stay deployed until your ship returns to base for whatever reason. So that means if you want the cargo, it's not like you're only having cargo for the duration of holding your outpost. You can actually have that cargo capacity added to your ships. You can send them out and they will hold that extra cargo capacity from that buff until they return to base. There is some value there.
Oh, absolutely. I can see that. Hazard resistance being a good one, even officer stats for the purposes possibly of some ATAs getting you over the hump there. I do urge a little bit of caution there, as Burton points out. That doesn't seem 100% necessarily true for all things. We have seen some cargo buffs get reverted while you're on a node, especially if you max that node. Zero that node. We've seen those reset. Also, rep exos, for example, will stop in real time. So that doesn't necessarily mean that all of these will. I'd be very curious to see how hazard resistance works. And to be perfectly honest with you, that is something that we can test tonight. That is actually a very, very easy test. So we can do that here in just a little bit, specifically with hazard resistance, and we'll see how that goes. Coming back over to the targets, Cardassian Outpost, again, just have a great deal of apex barriers. So that would necessarily be a really difficult outpost to overcome. So we will, in fact, test that. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and get into that. Now, I did see one question here a moment ago. Why would you need PvP buffs in a PvE activity? I do remind you that you're only going to have 2 up to 3 ships involved with the outpost. Once you activate these buffs, all of your other ships are going to experience these buffs while you perform other actions in the game. So you might want PvP buffs if you're going and playing in territory capture, or just going to fight in combat with other players. Perhaps in an incursion where you are the home server, where you're on defense. I would remind you that transferring instances will end your outpost. So arenas, no go here, okay? And if you transfer to a server as the attacker going on to another server, then it will also cancel there. So you've lost a big piece of the PvP efficacy in the fact that this does not currently serve or function in arenas. Let's go ahead and hop into the game, and we are going to go ahead and take a Cardassian outpost. So let's start with officer crewing. All right. We know and have talked about some of the officers that are indeed going to work. This is one of them that I'm going to go with here, which is a preset that I've got saved specifically for gold hostiles. All right. This is one of my go-tos. It's 5 Lorca Khan. These officers right here have no specification on the type of target that it will hit. So that means that these will work. They don't specify hostiles or armadas or et cetera, et cetera. All right. Enterprise Troy. Good call out. Enterprise Troy not going to work. All right. So we're going to pull her down. Somehow that got stuck in that preset. Odo, for example, though, has no criteria. Just increases critical damage. Joachim. This one's a special case. Ignore his tooltip. You can roll with that. Let's take a look at Beckett Mariner, increasing weapon damage. Fine, we can go with that. Pick Hugh, just repairing previous hull damage. Absolutely something you can go with there. Pelia, probably not an officer that we need here if we've got Joachim. But on the other hand, we might be looking at one of these targets that have a significant amount of Apex. Isolytic or damage or this or that. So we're going to want to take a look. As a matter of fact, the Borg outposts do have isolytic and good chunks of it. So we might want Joachim and perhaps Pelia there, although Pelia is going to have a minimal impact as compared to Joachim. All right, so taking a look at other officers. Okay, and we're going to try multiple levels, Forgotten Sec. We're going to demonstrate some of these abilities and the abilities of the hostile. We're going to show some of the battle logs. So, Pelia would be great on the second ship. All right, so let's take a look at a couple of other abilities that we could potentially take a look at here. For example, Black Ops and Benga. No, he only works when you're fighting hostiles. No go there. Black Ops Chapel, same thing. No, Black Ops Chapel could work. She increases your hull health by 150%, but again, very, very negligible at this particular stage in the game. That's PvP. So let's take a look. What do we have that can actually come in here and work? Well, we've got SNW, Montgomery Scott, going to increase your shield health a little bit. That could potentially be something that works. What about Savick? Nope. She is only against non-Armada hostiles. So you're going to have to be very, very careful when you're going through here and taking a look at some of these. For example, Watt Carroll, no go. She only works against hostiles. So we're going to be looking for some officers here. In this particular case, I'm going to actually come back and just stack a little extra health here for the purposes of 5 of 11. Now, I could use Charvanek. I could use Nero. I'm not, because both Charvanek and Nero do actually work with their abilities. So we're going to come over here and pick Eurydice just for some nice health stats there and see. Could she work on the bridge? No. Works against hostiles. She's not going to go there on the bridge, or at least not in the captain's chair. And not in the officer chair either. So Eurydice is a safe bet for below deck. Now, we're going to come back in. We're going to take a look at our second ship. In my case, I'm going to pull out the Borg Cube, and we're going to see what we've got here. So, first of all, Wrath of Khan McCoy. Nope, that's non-player hostiles or armadas, so he's out. John Harrison. When fighting explorers, no go. He's out. So, what are we going to look at here? Well, I like Gorkon. Gorkon is an officer who's going to give me the opportunity at hull breach. All right. He's also going to increase my crit chance here a little bit. So we're going to throw him up here. That's going to give me some hull breach there, opportunity on his officer ability, and extra critical chances above deck. What I might do here to improve my critical chance is simply look at adding a little bit of synergy. Okay, because by the way, Chang also works. All right, so Chang is a great side card, even though I'm not getting the full synergy. Chang is a great side card to Gorkon here. A Zetbur, every time the ship hits an opponent, she's increasing your piercing. Well, that is a wasted slot. I could put her up there for the extra opportunity at Gorkon's crit chance. All right, but as an officer, she's doing nothing. Okay. She's doing absolutely nothing.
Is this your second crew?
This would be my second one.
And your first crew has Lorca already.
Yeah, it sure does. So
why do you need 2 hull breaches?
Well, you're right. I don't need 2 hull breaches. Good call. So maybe we pull these down. Let's start from scratch. Don't need 2 hull breaches. So let's take a look at GG. Maybe we want to throw some burning on this thing. All right. So let's go find our original Philippa Giorgio. And here she is. We're going to throw her up here because at the start of each round, if the opponent is burning, She's going to decrease the attack. Okay, no go there. I would use her as an officer. All right, so I can get that burning ability going here. I've got an 80% chance to burn the opponent. So we can have her as a side card. What are we doing now? Yuki. Let's take a look at Yuki. Okay. Now, I do see this question in chat. Great question. Jules, why are you telling me I don't need hull breach on this second ship? Why do I need one hull breach and only one hull breach?
Because you only need one hull breach because then the actual target is already breached. So any ships, particularly ships that come after that in the firing order, will benefit from that hull breach.
Absolutely. I don't need...
Now, morale
Correct.
has to be on each specific ship because it only applies to the ship itself. But burning and hull breach, you only need one in either an armada or in an outpost.
All right. Now, somebody asked the question, why do you think John Harrison would not work? Well, John Harrison's officer ability specifies hostiles and players of level 70 and down. So not only do you have a level cap, but we are looking at hostiles and players. Now, interesting question. Hostiles and players at this time was universal, Jules. There were no conditions. At the time Harrison came out, hostiles and players were all there were. So are there actual configuration parameters on Harrison? He may work against anything if the target is level 70 and down. That is absolutely worth a test. We're going to throw Harrison on there to provide a little extra synergy to Yuki, and we might be able to reduce the shield health of this thing by 15%. How long do these battles go? No idea. We're going to check that out. What are we going to look at below deck? Well, we did say that we're going to bring Pelia back up here. We'll bring Pelia back to get us a little bit of isolated defense on this particular ship. What else do we have available? Well, how about Gwen DeMarco? Gwen DeMarco increases isolated damage. PvP. No go. Laliari.
Ooh.
Oh, that's just a wave defense officer. No go there. What about Vielle? She is the crit build officer for armadas. Sadly, she specifies armadas or hostiles. So Vielle is out. What about Borg?
I do have something from you that just came through a minute ago.
Okay.
That you're going to like. Look at
Fantastic.
this. Look at this screen here.
Let's hop on over to the whale cam and see what we see. Your whale cam is not screen sharing. There you go.
What? Hold on. Oh, here it is. Here you go. Here you go. Boom. All right, check this out. This just in 2 minutes ago. Do you see me now?
All right, we got you. So this is against a level 70, and we can and see the effect of Harrison procking. That's a good call out right now. Even though his tooltip specifies hostiles and players, you got to remember, at the time he came out, hostiles and players were the only targets there were. So,
and look at Yuki go here. Look at this Yuki bar.
Yeah, Yuki is depleting the shield by, looks like, close to 65%. How many rounds did this thing go? 3 rounds.
3.
So, yeah, you were getting 15% per round, so 45% strip of shield. So, yeah, not bad right there. Okay?
I'll take it.
So, good call out there. Let's flip back over here and see what...
Wait, quick question. Hold on. So, Harrison is supposed to ignore their shields, yeah?
Yes.
It says here on the 80% of opponent's shield ignored for the first round of combat. Correct.
So let's go down.
Okay. I was just checking your battle log to actually make sure because I didn't know if you had a maxed Harrison or not. So if you don't have a maxed Harrison,
do not.
Just making sure that you actually that it didn't just show up as text. Oh, yep. Looks like it worked. Okay.
Yeah, sure did.
Sure did.
I love it.
Yeah, that's 1.1 billion. 6.5 billion straight to hull. That basically modifies your shield mitigation in that first round. Go down to round 2 there, Griffin. And now we're going to see a much higher shield hull split. See, look there. 24 billion to shield, 9 billion to hull. So that is absolutely definitive. John Harrison is working. Not only is his tech showing up, but he is definitively ignoring shields for that first round. So
Bad Gamer does have a point. These shields to hull ratio of the targets, it seems to be like 20% of the actual total shield and hull health is actually shield. So it's like 500 billion for shield and 2 trillion for hull. So we still see a larger share of the damage you have to deal does need to go to the hole. So you may not want to put all your eggs in the shield strip / ignore basket.
On the other hand, I mean, no, certainly not all your eggs, but certainly the fact that you can chew through that shield faster. Of course, it does only work one round. On the other hand, though, Griffin only went 3 rounds.
On a 70.
On a 70, yeah. Now, he did take, by the way, he's got 3 ships because of his building also. So most of us are going to be running with 2 ships. So let's flip back over and see if we can continue. I did notice just a second ago another officer that I might want to put over here with 5 of 11 would be Hemmer. I'm going to throw Hemmer in the place of Eurydice here, I believe, because he's going to improve the health of all, and that is a passive ability, not even required by combat. So that's just going to automatically happen. So we're going to do that here. And then come back over to our primary ship and see if we can continue filling in a few underdeck abilities here. The thing is that you're running mighty, mighty thin. What about Quasi? Increasing Apex Shred, but against hostiles. So he's a no-go there. Giorgio's PvP, Seska, Suitor. Those are new officers. But they specify hostiles, so you're out there. Vielle specifies an armada, so you're out there. Troy specifies hostiles. You're out there. To the lower deckers all specify in PvP, so you're out there. Okay? Or are you? On round start, if on an interceptor and the enemy player has hull breach, enemy player, there's the key. All right, so you're out there. Neelix won't work. Harry Kim won't work. Belana Torres won't work. Tom Paris won't work. Dazok. Opponent could apply Assimilate, which is not necessarily what I would want to do, but do any of the Assimilate lower deckers? That's a player. That's a player. So Assimilate does nothing for me here. We're going to pull Assimilate back out. Kira. Player. Out. Miles O'Brien. Warp speed. No dice there. Devon Attendee. All right, I was just giving her a little bit of grief, but hey, 215% is 215%. For lack of any other officer that we can use, might as well. All right, Rutherford. For lack of any other officer. Ha! You're gonna die. Badgie. Nah, probably not worth it. Stats not good enough. No. All right, stats not good enough. And Boimler. Mitigation. Super teeny tiny. Not necessarily there. So, do we need stats for any of these other folks?
Go to stats. Just pump the stats up.
Well, if your stats are already maxed for that ship, then...
Are they?
No, they're not. Now they are. Yeah, now they are.
There you go.
Okay, so we could go with something like that. Those would be the 2 ships that I would probably start at. The Godsend, not going to function. Not on Shred. The Godsend will give me Barrier. All right, so the Godsend will give me a little bit of Barrier. That's good. That's the only other thing that the Godsend will do. The damage, actually, it will give me damage. Again, ignore these tooltips. It will not work in Shred. Weapon damage will trigger. Okay, so it's not Barrier, it's the weapon damage. Okay, I knew one of those works. Echo Papa will also partially work. That is increasing weapon damage when the enemy hull health is below 40%. So you can get that opening ability there from Echo Papa. Okay. I am being told, very nice. Dachok, good officer to look at. We skipped right over him. Where is he? Where are you, Dachok? He's not showing. Oh, that stupid carousel bug. Hang on. There's another bug. How long have we had that bug? How long have we had that bug?
What is the bug? Why is he hiding?
Because I don't have enough shards of him to natively have unlocked him, so he doesn't show as available in my carousel. The reason that you go into the officer is so that the client can renegotiate the required statistics required for the unlock. There's the chalk showing up now. For those of you who have away teams efficiencies, if you don't actually own 100 shards of Dachok, 120, then he actually does not actually show up.
Funny.
Yeah, that's a bug. And by the way, we've known about that since Priority 1 ATAs came out. Okay, so just so you guys know, there's a bug. All right, hasn't been fixed in the last 4 months. So you can throw that out and just throw that in your cap if you didn't know about that. But yeah, T'Chak, increasing ship damage by 700%. No conditions there. All right, fantastic. We'll throw him in there. Okay. But I just lost some stats. So let's see if we can get a little bit of health back. There we go. And do that.
So you're reworking your crew 2 here? This is crew 2?
This is crew number 2. I reworked a little bit to include T'Chak, but then I lost a little bit of statistic bonus, so I had to throw in a little extra health over here in another slot so I could get my bonuses back. Now, Mord says, hey, in an effort to educate, can you talk a little bit about the ship bonuses? Yeah, ship bonuses are based on statistics. This is a very original day one mechanic, but for new players that are joining us, this bonus is based on the statistics that you've got. Now, if you click on it, you can ignore these values that are in blue here over to the side, but it will give you your statistical breakdowns, the stats that are necessary in each of these categories for you to get the highest breakdown of bonus. So basically, in my particular case, on this cube, I need 1 million officer stats for each of the 3 categories, attack, defense, and health, or I say 1 million, rounding 960,000 for me to get my maximum bonus here. So as long as I've got more than 960,000. If you don't, and you are working on stats, all right, then I'm going to try to do that. Now, you're right. Nero has no below deck ability, Vic. I brought him on specifically for health, who we had here a moment ago. Left me deficient in my health category. So I'm going to throw him in there just to get my stats to a point where I can indeed hit my stat bonuses. Okay.
And it's worth mentioning because this was the first OG question that everybody got wrong 7 years ago. His max is 960,000 there. I don't care if you put 2 million on, 3 million on, you're still going to get that 6,500% bonus to health, attack, or defense respectively. So that's your ceiling.
See, now, if I'm looking at primary ship number 1, I'm seeing a defensive problem here. My mitigation is not in that highest category. I'm missing it by 70,000 attack stats. I'm probably going to look very carefully here. I know that Scott giving me 200% shield health is going to be very, very minimal. I may substitute him here for a defense officer. And let's see, that will increase my mitigation, which is probably going to do more for me than shield health.
Go.
So that may be something a little bit more worth looking at. Maybe not, though. Mitigation, as we know, because of Apex Barrier, because of Isolytic, the primary standard damage may not be a huge impact here, but this is something that I'm going to go with here. Now, Vul says, why don't you consider swapping Marcus with 5 of 11? Well, that's going to give me hull health under 80%. Marcus is going to give me morale. That's actually a good call out. Why would I suggest that? Marcus is going to give me the mitigation of 5. I don't necessarily probably need the loot bonus here. I think that's actually a wonderful call out because I'm going to get morale. Morale is then going to increase my critical damage as a result of my fleet commanders. All right. That is, as long as Kirk doesn't specify in that particular one. Let's come up here and take a look at where his critical output is. Where is he? Tactical. Looking for the one that's damage.
I thought it was lower left. No, that's not it.
Critical damage against hostiles. He's not going to work. All right. Fleet Commander Kirk is not going to work. So do I still need morale? Well, yep, I'm still going to say yes. Why? We've got another source of research that relies on morale, and that comes in the Star Path research. So let's take a look at morale. What does morale give me up here? Increasing isolytic damage. Perfect. No conditions. Mitigation. No conditions. And shield health repair every single round. I feel like that is going to be much more impactful than Wrath of Khan Scotty. We're going to go with morale here. Vul, that is an excellent call out.
Good job,
absolutely
Vul.
Brilliant call out. And again, the design here, beautiful. All right. I'm going to literally right here and now say that the design of this is great. Look at these crews. These are OG crews. Okay. Gorkon, Marcus, Lorca, Khan, Gigi, Yuki, and Harrison. This is wild. Okay. Absolutely wild. So we're going to take a look at some of these and go ahead and get started. So I'm going to fly out. I know Harrison is only going to work against the level 70. So I am going to find a Cardassian level 70. That is where I think I want to go because we are going to test the hazard resistance. So we're going to go to Velcora.
What I'm looking for is in the teaching is the if-then statement of if you want to accomplish this, hit the Cardassian. If you want to accomplish that, hit the Borg. If you want to accomplish this, hit the node. Can you fill in those blanks?
Well, based on what we have amassed here as far as abilities, I mean, it really just kind of depends. I think there's a fourth scenario there, okay? If you want to play this passively, specifically for the refinery, then you're going to want to hit the target that is going to be the easiest to defeat, and I believe that's going to be the Borg outpost. Now, if you are going to play, that's scenario one. If you're going to play scenario two, in which you want to have significant PvE buffs outside of the outpost, so you're actively going to play outside of the outpost, well, then you could take a look also at the Borg outpost. Those are giving you extra mitigation, crit chance, isolated defense, apex barrier. Those things are important. Okay? If I'm wanting to do PvP, maybe I've got incursions, maybe I'm defending on incursions, maybe I've got a territory captured that's going to be challenged, then I'm going to take a look at the node. And then perhaps I'm wanting to survive in hazard space. Then I'm going to look at Cardassian. All right? Harrison does not work on 71 plus. Harrison, wait, which one did you hit? A 70 or a 73? You hit a 70, right?
A 70.
70.
For
where
that
Harrison
reason,
worked.
to test
Harrison is coded to not work on a 73. We can certainly try it. I don't think I'm the person that's going to be able to do that. We could try with Griffin and see. I don't have the ships to do a 73, but I am going to try a 70, which is still going to be, I would imagine,
a tall order.
A tall order for me. Okay. The level 70 Cardassian, the level 70 Borg system that I'm going to try to hit is, sorry, it wasn't Borg. We were doing Cardassian because we were going to test hazard. That is over here near Federation space. So let's hop in here, Jules, and see how this goes. All right. We're going to just find any one of these. That's great. We'll hop right on over here. And for the purposes of funsies and the fact that I've got a daily that I haven't hit yet, I am going to go ahead and pop a max fort. Wait, should I pack? Yeah, I think I'm going to. We're not testing abilities just yet. We're testing the loot or the hazard resistance. So I am going to max fort.
DJ, don't max fortify until after it starts so that you can show that you actually fortify while it's going.
All right, we'll give that a go. I'm willing to test that. I actually heard a rumor that wasn't working, so this will be a good chance to test that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start this outpost. Oh, I haven't built the building yet. Okay, step one, build the building.
You suck.
Wait, why don't I have my thingy? Oh, it must be in one of my 64 gift chests.
Yeah, we had a lot of those today.
All right, outpost command schematics. Is that it? There it is. All right, so we've got that.
You have
Let's
one.
go. I got one. I'm going to build the building. Okay. Booger. I'm going to have to spend speed ups. That disgusts me. Okay, let's go ahead and build the Outpost Control Center. There we go. We're going to collect it. That's going to unlock us, and we're going to get this beautiful interstitial here that's going to allow us. You know what? We'll let people screenshot at that if they want to go through it, if they haven't seen that yet. There's slide 1, slide 2, slide 3. Hey, I like that test, Vul. We'll do that test as well. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to bring up a junker while we're here, okay? I know what test he's wanting to run, so we'll do that as well. All right. Now, while I have my junker here, here is my good buddy Jonathan Ingram up here. He is orbiting an outpost. Notice that I can indeed click his ship, which was contrary to what we had originally said. It's clickable. I can scan it, but I cannot attack. I can't beam. I can't do any of those things over here on Jonathan's ships. Okay? Nothing can be done here. So here's your proof positive that once you own an outpost, then you're not going to be at risk. What just happened to the stream? We got some lag. Got some lag. All right, we'll give that a second.
Twitch has been slowing down, but it's client side, I think. I don't know. You're not freezing.
No, I'm not, but I do see some dropped frames. So we're going to give that a second. Let's give it a second here, and we'll check that out. Might be a good opportunity for us to take an ad break. Oh, nope, it's already back. Okay, that's fine. I can come back. There we go. I was, sorry, guys. I dropped a few frames there. Whoopsie. Okay. All right, so anyway, what I was saying is I can't attack Jonathan Ingram because obviously he should be scared that I would. Okay? Because I could totally take him out. But his ships are not attackable. They're not beamable. Nothing of the sort. I am, out of curiosity.
Yes.
I'm going to bring up Burritos here. I wonder if they could be selected for boost. No, can't even do that. Can't select him for a boost. Okay. Now, wait, Ritos can do other players, right? I thought so. Right? I can boost another player. Yeah, I can.
That's very nice of you.
That is nice of me. Because look, one of his cubes.
Oh, man.
One of his cubes is getting ready to die. Look at that. Okay, there.
I am getting close. I am 200,000 points away, 200 million points away from catching that guy in power. I'm coming for you, Jonathan Ingram.
There you go. All right, let's go ahead and give this a go. We're going to start. There's my circle. It is now 3 minutes, so that is different than what we had experienced early on, but that's fine. We'll let this thing go. Now, when did you want me to try to do a buff? After the outpost has been taken, right?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason is because the Titans, it doesn't select a ship. It scans the whole system and says how many ships are available and then starts giving them all buffs. The ships should still be in the system because obviously you can scan them. So they should be able to receive the Titan buff.
All right, we're going to find out. I am unable to sting him. Can't even sting him. So again, nothing that we can do there. All right. So again, I really don't see any fear of being messed up while you got something like that going on with an outpost. All right. No one's going to be able to come in and mess with you. All right. We've still got 2 minutes here on our outpost to start, so we'll get ready to do that. Jules, is there anything that we need to be aware of while we're looking? I do see the icon here, the outpost icon. Naturally, my ships are not in the circle, even though they say they're supposed to be. But, that's all fine and good. Also, we do not see the timer like we would ordinarily see with any other type of armada or hostile target timed formation armada, anything like that, solo invading entity. Not seeing any kind of timer on our ships. Don't know if that's intended or not. Probably would be nice to see that there, but that is not there at this time, and unsure whether or not that is to be, whether that was intended or not. So we've got about a minute left.
Jules had to put the baby Juleses to sleep.
Okay.
So he'll be back in like 15-ish.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, that'll be fine. Let's see. I'm taking a look at chat while we've got a minute here. I'm just looking at chat and seeing if there was something I could answer. Do you guys have any questions or anything? Lost says, is there a link for the outpost sheet? Yeah, be happy to get it to you. We've got that.
I have completed 6 rounds of the first wave. I'm on number 7 now. So hopefully that means that things have been improved.
All right, gonna reply to you over there, Prime. Here is your link, and for those of you who did want it, I'll throw that in our Twitch chat, and we'll pin that up at the top. How do I pin? I can't. Why? Oh, thank you, Tarpy. Tarpy pinned it. All right,
No problem.
here we go. So, are we going to kill the target? It looks like indeed we did. Holy gosh bless. I just lost my entire board cube. I did defeat the target. All right. So I've got the win, but I lost a ship. Now, this is actually a really, really good example. Can I repair and send a ship back? Oh, come on.
No.
Don't. Hey, Jonathan, stop. I'm trying to beam stuff around here. Oh. That's why he killed that ship. We already tested the beam. All right. Can I take the cube and bring it back? No.
Nope.
I cannot
You're
get
out.
it back into the circle. The cube is done and gone. All right. Let's get it back in the system, see if I can get in here. I've got 4 minutes till my next. All right. I do have, fortunately, my primary Crencha with my primary crew, but the cube is down and out. Not going to be able to get it back in. So when our next hostile appears in 5 minutes, next target, it is only going to fight the one ship. I'm not going to be able to get the cube back in there. Now,
You're screwed, pal.
let's see if we can boost ships. Oh, you got to be kidding me, Putz. I cannot boost with Ritos. I cannot boost a ship inside. We should have done that ahead. Let's take a look at the Titan. I'm going to use a small buff so I can use the big buff on another one
You're not
later.
going to be able to tighten that ship either. No. Once you're locked in, you're locked in.
Bull smart! Putz was right.
Never.
What?
Putz was right.
What
There
happened?
we go. We did indeed fortify the Crencha.
How can that be?
Because of exactly what Putz says. You don't have to select the target. It scans for all your ships and just throws the boost on there. There's the Crencha, and it did receive the benefit of a fortification. Now, let's take a look at the battle log while we're waiting. Here's our Cardassian outpost, 606 billion. We killed it. By the way, look, my Yuki definitely did her job. I completely shield stripped that thing. I still went 14 rounds. 14 rounds. All right. So still lost my cube, but we can definitely see. Now, see, here's an interesting thing. Okay. Here's an interesting thing for me. Jules pointed this out a little bit ago. Is Harrison worth it? Well, for me, I went 14 rounds. Harrison, probably not. Griffin, who went 3 rounds, Harrison probably worth it. 14 rounds? Probably not.
Worth it. Well, you could do better. Not that he's not worth it, because Harrison does a good job on the first round, but you might find a better sidecar to Yuki. Or will you find a better sidecar to Yuki? I don't know about that.
So just so you know, your fort worked for JB as well.
Is JB in the same system running one right now?
Yeah, he's up top.
Oh, well, there you go, buddy. How about that?
You're welcome.
I knew Jonathan Ingram was up top. Oh, yeah, there's JB. Look, he got fortification too.
Nice.
Yeah,
I think it's interesting that fortification is the only thing you can apply after you started the outpost.
Yeah.
Because you can't apply the Cerritos.
Now, it is also interesting that my board cube is experiencing the animation, even though it's not in the circle. Throwing that out there.
Hey, I got another question for the audience, actually.
Weird.
Has anyone tested the...
Look at that. Is it actually in?
Yeah, go fly beside Ingram.
Can't be.
It doesn't have the symbol. But
no,
I mean,
it has a ZZ. You can move out. Just click away. Hopefully, he'll move.
I don't want to move out. I want to...
Just click away.
That was a visual bug from earlier.
I'm going to leave it
We
for
talked
45
about
more
that.
seconds. I'm going to leave it for 45 more seconds. I just want to see. I mean, obviously, if it's a visual bug, then, and we expect it to be a visual bug, but hey, documentation, it is acting like it's in the circle. It's got the green circle. It's using the animation. We don't have the symbol, and the battle log will confirm that we don't, but I'm going to leave it until after this hostile, and then we'll move it.
And going back to the Titan boost, this is a opportunity for you to, get together with a few alliance mates and go run them in the same system. And one person does their Titan boost and everybody gets it. Then another person does it, and then another person does it. And you can actually prolong how long you have the Titan boost.
Yeah, that's brilliant, actually. Yeah, good call out. No, you cannot do a Cerritos boost. Can't do the Cerritos boost.
There you go.
Dude, my cube is in battle.
With another target.
No.
Somebody tried to kill you, man.
Wait, somebody
that came from off screen. Somebody tried to get you.
Why would you have? Come on, stop with that. Oh, you got to be kidding me. I thought it was in.
Well, now you know. It's
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
I have one job in this lousy show. I'm gonna do it.
now the Cerritos has put itself in. Okay, so there we go. We'll take a look at the battle log. The battle log shows, as expected, a singular ship. However, I can tell you right now, I've got about 3 or 4 of those hostiles, and I'm going home. All right, that took too much hole. I've got 4 or 5 hostiles there, and then I'm out. Battle log on this one, 17 rounds.
Yeah, you're cooked.
Yep.
17 rounds. That is a tough one. That's going to be tough. I'm definitely going to want to be punching down here.
I have round 8 starting in 2 seconds. So it looks like we have made progress on this whole 5-round thing.
I am going to bring the Junker back. Obviously, I know that this is not going to perform like we expect, but again, all things on screen, trust but verify. I'm going to leave the Junker, and in 3.5 minutes, we're going to try to beam our retaliation target. How much Apex barrier does this one have? This one had 60,000 Apex barrier. Woo! 60,000. Let's take a look. And by the way, the hostiles match their targets. Okay? The targets, rather, match their outpost. So this target had 60,000 Apex barrier. 60,000 Apex barrier. Let's take a look and see how that impacted what we were trying to do here. Okay? I threw a shot of 10 billion standard, 57 billion isolytic, giving me 67, almost 68 billion damage. 53 billion of it mitigated by Apex barrier. We need shred. We're going to need some shred.
Well, that's a good thing you're hitting the Cardassian.
No,
the upgrades.
The Cardassian one has, oh, yeah. Okay. So now we wanted to test the hazard. Okay.
Ingram killed your cube.
Yeah, I see that. That's fine. We got too much to do here. All right. So we're going to take this miner and we're going to bring it over here to Transigen space. And we're just going to click on a system and see what our hazard resistance is. 370. Now I'm going to come back to the outpost. That's not a good test.
By the way, you've been flashing your base location. You might want to shield.
It's fine. Oh, shield. Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. Now we're doing science right now. It's not a big deal. Anyway, we're going to activate hazard now. Let's go into the upgrade. I don't have enough of the stuff. Solo pulse components.
Not yet.
I can't even get there until I get to wave 2.
Yep. That's the third upgrade needs the uncommon.
I can't get a single point of hazard resistance until I hit 42 hostiles. You're telling me that I can't earn 1 shred of hazard resistance for 2.5 hours? 3.5 hours?
Yep.
So about that, you start this and just do this overnight kind of content. Do you want to wake up 3 hours into your sleep cycle to put a miner out?
Nope.
Oh man, these are getting expensive too. I'm throwing some retaliation isolytic defense on. I'm already being asked for 4,000 of this loot, and I only have 13,000. How
about how about Sigma Trite too?
Let's take a look.
Oh, is it taking it away now?
Yeah,
right, hang
it
on.
is.
I've got some chests here. We got a little bug there. Okay. Common control cores. Those are the building materials. Okay, so I got
ads in a minute.
Okay, I'm not worried about the ads. You guys need to sub if you don't want ads.
Tell people.
So I'm going to have to kill at least 5 of those wave 1 hostiles before I can even get 10% shred.
Yeah.
Whew. All right, here comes the hostile. I'm going to try to beam it. I can't get to it. I can't even target it. No go. You know what? I'm gonna test that again. I feel like I didn't get a good click. I'm gonna try it again. Now, what we did just kill another one, so we got another 105, and that is consistent with the chart. We're earning. That's not consistent with the chart. I just earned 105 common solo outpost components. Chart says 80. Oh, loot bonus, right?
Yep.
Loot
bonus. Well, I took 5 of 11 off. So we had the building,
the loot bonus
9%. 9% from the building, right?
Isn't there a fleet commander that gives like generic loot gain? Oh no, it's from hostiles. Never mind.
Yeah, so here's 9%. Still doesn't explain 105. I got.
Well, Sloan must be working.
I got 80 times 1. Yeah, it's like I'm getting 35%. No, that's not enough. 32%? 31%? 31% minus the 9, 22%. Sloan, all right, let's go check out Sloan.
Because it's the one I tried to say, but his says hostiles.
Yeah, he's not. There's something else that's going on because he's not working properly. And it may also
Bottom
be
left.
like loot distribution of your ships. Like which.
But he's only got one ship in there.
Right, but that
Bottom left, DJs.
Good point.
Not that one. Not that one.
Oh gosh, we just said it was 32%.
Cruzito, where's Cruzito?
Oh, wait a second. There's something else wrong here. We did the math. 32% is right. But that means I'm supposed to be getting I'm not getting the 9% from the building.
When did you upgrade the building? Was it after you left your base?
It had to be. It's only level 1. So so Sloan is working, but the building isn't.
You were not docked when you built that building.
Wait,
Does that make a difference?
No. It says outpost loot. Do you think that means specifically just from that first fight against the outpost?
No.
And not the okay.
No, it's definitely supposed to be for all.
Supposed to be or is?
DJ's built the building while I was in space. Did I?
That's what I'm telling you. You're not docked. You weren't docked when you built the building.
You're right. I wasn't.
Your Crenshaw was already out.
All right, that's good. That's good. That proves that Sloan does work.
Yeah,
so Sloan does work. That's good. Okay.
The 5 didn't.
I didn't run 5. Remember, I subbed 5 for Marcus. Here's my crew. I subbed 5 for Marcus. So Marcus, I don't have the loot on top. So Sloan is working.
Happy day.
Have we ever checked whether he works on invading entities?
No.
Sloan's loot bonus?
I mean,
it's so small.
Hostiles and armadas.
So
but
Vul,
it just said hostiles only.
We are not looking at loot chest. There was no loot chest claimed. The loot chest that I got was from killing the outpost. I have not gotten a loot chest from the retaliation targets yet. The only loot chest came from the outpost. I haven't gotten a loot chest from the retaliation target yet. So and that's consistent, right? Because Jules says the base amount is supposed to be 80. We got 105 as evidenced by this counter right here. So we are, in fact, getting a 32% bonus, and that does come from Sloan. So that's very, very good. 30 seconds left, and I'm going to try to do this beam again. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to get real tight up here and see if I can actually target. I'm sure we can't, but we're just going to make sure.
Okay, so oh, wait.
Yeah, Sloan's bonus is 50% when maxed. I'm going to have to hop back in there and do something with that. Okay, here's our target. Selectable, not scannable. Target is immune to gravitational blast. All right, so no dice on the Junker, which is as expected. Okay. Now, we're going to come back in. Again, notice no chest, nothing dropped. But I'm going to come back in, and now I'm going to have 315. Okay, so Sloan's definitely working there. Okay. Let's take a look at that battle log again.
Cool.
17 rounds. Okay, not a whole lot changing there. So, that is a level 70 outpost. Based on these logs, I'm going to get maybe 10, maybe 12. It looks like I'm doing a little bit better now. That one didn't take as much. Interesting that one did better. I wonder if we had, I wonder if I had a lazy Lorca on the first one.
You might have.
Because look, that one did really well. That one did not. I might have had a lazy Lorca. Let's check. Well, no, he procced. Oh, well, 17 rounds, though. 17 rounds. Lorca only has a chance to proc for 2 rounds. Yeah, so I might have had some bad luck down the stretch. Okay. Quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jules, while we're waiting on a few more hostiles to come through, let's come back and take a look at rewards and refinery.
Great. Let's do it.
All right. So anything in the chart that we can look at? Absolutely. Let's take a look here. And then we'll take a look at our live in-game refinery. I'm sure I don't have enough currency to do anything yet. So we'll take a look at the charts first and try to fill in some data. What do Texas Guy Hang On says, how do you get the too many armadas to stop so I can launch one? That actually means that there's a ghost ship stuck on that one. Find a different one.
It is what it is.
That means that there's somebody else actually stuck on that one. You got to go find a different one. At least until they fix that. Yeah, run a script. All right, let's take a look at the refinery, Jules. What do we got here?
So for the first thing is for the actual credits. This is gained from completing or actually conquering the outpost to begin with. Now you're actually getting double. Back up. The credits themselves are from defeating the outpost. You actually get another smaller drip of the credits as you defeat each of the retaliation hostiles when you go through this. So, but those credits can be spent on any one of 3 bundles depending on your generation, meaning that if you are a G5, you will not see the G6 or G7 bundles. But if you're a G7, you could spend your credits on each of the 3 bundles. It's very much like the Xborg faction store that has the 3 different generations you could spend the epic loot on. Same thing here. You could spend the same loot and get similar rewards, which include the soft resources for G5, Sigma resources for G6 and G7, and then the generation grade materials. Now, here's how these work. And in your game, you will see a chance next to 2 different numbers for each of these categories, each of these types. You're guaranteed a role within that category. You're guaranteed to roll a par steel. You're guaranteed to roll a trite all the way through the rest of those. It's just which one, the high or the low, is going to be what the chance is going to be. because of that, because you can pull in each generation, we see an increasing cost towards those chests. So to actually start pulling the G7 chest requires 3.7 million. And I can tell you from one run and from defeating the outpost at the outpost level 73 that I got about 1.6 million. Now, if I was able to complete all of the hostiles, which I definitely was not able to do, then I may be able to pull one chest. This has a 3-day cooldown. You get to do an outpost once every 2 days. So you can kind of do the math there that without any help, without any loot bonuses, more than what I was using, this is going to be pretty difficult to pull this on a consistent basis, and probably close to pretty difficult to actually pull even multiple chests if you're higher up. So it may be worth pulling down if you're really interested in the Sigma resources to grab some G6 bundles in order to get that Sigma resources. So this is the first refinery output that I see, resources and materials. I will say for an Ops 71 or 72, this is your first and only current chance at rare materials. That's huge.
Ooh.
I think that's huge.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be incredibly expensive to get those, and it's only a small amount at the very beginning. But I do want to say I currently have 0 rare. So anything more than 0 is a fantastic amount, and I look forward to that. If anyone else here in the chat can pop onto Discord and send any of these bundles, if you are Ops 61 through 65 or 51 through 60, really any G5 at all, please send us your bundles so we can track the actual amounts that are going to be available in those bundles.
Now, when I killed mine, I apparently didn't earn nearly as much because I guess I wasn't using a loot officer. I earned 100,000.
No, what level did you hit?
I hit a level 70.
Yeah, that's a 70.
Got 100,000, but it takes me 3 million. Cool.
Right, because you're
building
70, but you're not hitting a G7. That's the thing. You're not hitting a G7 outpost right now.
I hit the level 70, which is a G6.
That's a G6.
Yeah,
exactly. So they scale dramatically at each generational break. And 73s are very difficult. I will say I died on the very second hostile, and I used all of my buffs and my best ships and my best officers. So that is going to be very difficult. I don't predict any early G7 players to be hitting those 73s without a very well-developed account. And that is kind of how these outposts were designed. They weren't designed to be easy. They weren't designed for you to hit your level. They're designed to have some future growth in buffs that you can apply, particularly to outpost onlys.
Well, not only that, but going all the way to the 73, is there a 71 outpost? No, there's not. It goes straight to 73. So there's
Correct.
no doubt. There's no doubt that was designed for the G7 uncommons. Yeah.
Well, I know that you know this, but they were designed as if you would have the ship at that shipyard level that is equivalent to the outpost level, which is why you see the 73, the 76, and the 80. You don't see them at 72, right? Because it was designed saying, hey, you're now at this shipyard. We've designed this outpost for you to use a ship at this grade, one ship below this grade, and another ship below this rarity below that. So having 3 ships against this is where it was balanced. So they are going to be very difficult up front for a lot of our players who aren't engaging in all the different primes, buffs, and maxing the building. Of course, it should be. And that's going to give us more room for improvement, for crew improvement, for other buffs in the future.
I will say you're absolutely right on looking at the resources that are going to drop as an Ops 70 player. Really, the amount of Sigma Par, Sigma Triton, Sigma Dill is not wildly low. I am going to be better off with the G6 refinery, especially if I still have a need for G6 rare materials. G6 uncommon is not a huge issue for me at this particular point because of the G7 bundles. G6 rare, though, is still a little bit of an issue. So I can see pulling the G6 bundle still actually having some value, even to an early G7 player.
Agreed. But you could also pull all 3. So, for instance, if you really still need a 5 for any reason, you could still pull all 3 if you wanted. Now, the other 2 types of loot that you'd be gaining through the outpost is after the initial outpost is those hostiles, retaliation hostiles. From the wave 1 hostiles, you gain medals. This is actually wave 1 and wave 2. You gain some medals, and that can be claimed for several things that should help your game. These are the what I would say the bonus materials outside the loop, the output of the loop. Not only is the Officer Nog, Galactic Acclaim, hijack refits. Now, a key thing to point out here is that you must have the faction reputation and the operations level that would be able to build those ships in order to actually see that hijacked refit. So if you don't have your Romulan high, you're not going to see a scimitar, even if you are an Ops 70 and vice versa. If you're a 68 and have all your reputation maxed, you're still not going to see a G7, or sorry, a Operation 70 G6 Epic ship available in the hijack refits. But these are in there. A new player title, Outpost Adept. And I don't know if you've talked about titles. Kind of nifty, but also, maybe I don't want to be called Adept. And then there's obviously the building claim here, which gives you the much needed war room drip for free-to-play players, which is, very hard to come by. For retaliation plunder, now this only comes from the wave 2. So this is your 3rd phase of your outpost after the initial 42 hostiles. Hostile number 43 through 72 will drop plunder, and this is going to give you some more valuable things, including the Hierarch Premium Dust, another player title, some different prime particles, which I think almost all of these do have some availability for free to play, either through Event Store or other drips. And then Vengeance Blueprints. The first time we see Vengeance Blueprints in a drip form that is outside of an event. Now, I mean, I don't know if pulling hairs here, but this is technically an event series, so maybe it still is an event. Yeah. But this one doesn't have any tax for getting a higher amount. I think that's really interesting. And of course, I don't know if anyone's able to pull this yet, but if there's no tax for a higher amount, I also wonder if there's not going to be a cooldown. So this may be an opportunity. Cooldown. There's no cool. Look at that. Look at that. So now it's just all about how many of these outposts can you run, how much of that plunder can you rack up, and that can be a big boon to players trying to unlock their vengeance.
Very nice. All right. This retaliation plunder only comes from wave 2 hostiles, meaning you got to clear the first 42 in order to get there. And coming back to the system map, you're going to be able to see how much plunder actually comes, especially if you're having to punch down a little bit. Obviously, the 70s are going to be stout for me. I'm going to have to punch down to probably a 66 or even a 63 potentially. That is going to earn me less plunder, but some plunder is going to be more than I can earn here. Out of the 70, because I'm not going to make it through 42 hostiles. So there will be an opportunity for some plunder there. Taking a look back at the refinery, you'll have an idea about how much plunder some of this stuff costs. 500 plunder for, I'm assuming that is one chest of a singular blueprint. Let's head into our refinery here where we can see here is the plunder, and it is a singular blueprint for 500 plunder. So let's do the math on this. In order for me to kill a 66, let's go to a 66, I'm earning 20 plunder a piece. That is going to be 50 hostiles. No, that's not correct. Let's see, 500 divided by 20, 25 hostiles.
There is a loot bonus. So
well,
if you
that's
actually
true.
Getting
Yeah.
loot
Bonus.
It's be a little bit less than 25. Yeah.
Which means that if I wanted to spend almost all of my plunder off of one wave as a level 66, I could earn a singular one vengeance blueprint out of the 1,000 that I need.
Oh, look at that. You're so much closer already.
Look, Griffin left. All right. It's just absolutely riveting here. Okay. All right. Taking a look throughout the rest of the refinery, taking a look at the building. This is nice. I do want to point out these are guaranteed. 1,500 plunder. That's multiple runs, at least probably 2 to 3 runs of an outpost for you to pick up 500 emblems of honor. Yeah, that seems a little slow, but I will also point out that Jules is absolutely right. As we level the building, we're going to get higher loot bonuses, and it being month number 1, there is no doubt that there are going to be improvements to this along the way where you're going to be able to earn more loot. As a matter of fact, I'm going to draw my evidence right here in the refinery. Somebody said earlier that the double chest pull just scales absolutely out of this world. Well, I'm going to remind you of True Tiger design. These are stretch goals, not meant to be obtainable in month 1, but like you look in Mirror Universe, like you look in Transigen, double pulls are possible after some time. So I'm going to kind of point out and even point to the Vengeance Blueprints, same kind of thing, around that it might be a little heavy right now, but as time goes on, as the loot bonus increases, as other tools become available, we are definitely going to see that sourcing increase over time. Same thing with our refinery pulls down here. The stretch goal is certainly not possible here on day 1. It will be. That is almost always how that works. So there you go. Last thing is going to be the material fragments. We also know, and if we take a look inside our building base here on the inside, we've got a nice new little symbol here that is giving me the earning of material fragments. All right. Material fragments can then be converted into actual materials, and we've got the building levels and how that all breaks down. Jules, you want to give us a little bit of insight into that?
Right. So the material fragments, this is what we know of so far up into 71, I think is what we actually know. So I don't have anything above 71 yet, but the material fragments, they actually unlock at different levels of the building. Now, where they unlock is sort of weird and irrelevant to a player's need. But right off the bat, what we see is we've got G5 uncommon. This is what all players who just started and did not upgrade the building very much at all will see G5 uncommon, which means getting 50,000 of this material fragment, converting that into one, and you can choose which type of material you get, is get 58. So you can see that now. Everyone can see that. This is in your materials refinery. So you'll start to see these, and each grade you'll have your own bucket there. To how much is 50,000? Well, that's a few hours. It's like 10 hours worth of the generator just passively gaining that material. So it's not a lot. It's a lot of waiting. And then you get 58, 5-star uncommon. Cool.
Oh, this screen. Ugh.
Yeah, you love the screen.
He's back.
If you go back to that chart, you can see where everything else adds in. And I think that we really got to point out, I mean, this really generous G5 Epic. We've always been saying, hey, we don't get G5 Epic or gas. So here, we've got it here for you. You can get three at 50.
Wait, didn't I find all these totals out for you already? Why is it all blank?
No, it's not blank. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at material
the little
fragments.
dashes there means that those are unlocked. Those are locked, as in you do not get epic until your building is level 50. And when your building is level 50, you get three epic. Okay. All right.
Oh.
I'm glad that we solved that problem. Hey, G6 rare.
Yeah. You missed
don't worry.
that whole discovery process on the pergola cam earlier today, where I literally cried. DJs,
I can imagine. Yeah, I can believe that. $1,700, 3 G5.
I am about to pull my first G7 material fragment. If you want to see it really quick for the first time ever.
All right,
Yeah.
let's take a
Oh
look.
my gosh, let's see it.
Okay, go ahead.
Here we go, everybody.
Just be clear.
This is
You
what
haven't, you haven't pulled
time
anything
and effort
yet,
gave
right?
us.
He's pulled nothing. So let's see if there's
pulled
a
nothing.
12 hours of 12 hours of passive, maybe a little bit less, 10 hours of passive have gotten you one
maybe 8.
bundle, which gives you
Where's the drum roll? 20.
Yay! Oh, but look, I can one day bulk refine them, and I can pull this
Well, hey, look on the bright side. There's no cooldown on that.
What did I just do? What happened? Wait, what?
Oh, you spent all the rest of your stuff on G5 and G6.
I didn't set anything up.
No. You know what? That's probably your normal. It's the bulk refine on the material refinery button is actually probably what that is.
Yeah.
I sure as hell hope so.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. So you're in materials tab. Hit your back button. Yeah. You're in the materials tab. So hit your back button.
This bundle is not available for bulk refine. Thank God for that. Holy crap! I was about to flip this
The nice
table.
thing about that, it doesn't have a cooldown. It has no cooldown. It has a slider.
No
so
cooldown. Yeah.
This is not something that you need to manage on a daily basis. You can just sit there and let your building passively generate. You do have to click it twice a day. But at least it's doing its own thing. It's not really something you have to actively manage.
I mean, that's incredibly unfair. I don't know how Scopely can possibly balance that economy, considering in order to upgrade this one right here, I'm going to need 29,900 of those. How can they afford to give me 20 at a time?
You got 20. I mean, that's fine, right?
I will be dead by the time I upgrade a building like this. If I'm just counting on the 20? Are you kidding? Cars are going to be flying in the sky. There will be nothing but like clean nuclear energy on the planet. I'll be dead.
So that's like 450 days.
Not a big deal.
For one building.
Hey, it's not the only source of materials. We've got other sources of materials, right? Like choice bundles, right? Those are giving thousands of ore, right?
I mean, whoever thought that 20 of something is enough under any circumstance?
You got, oh man, you're snacking a lot tonight.
I'm just eating my feelings today. I'm eating my feelings.
All right. Listen, if you guys are okay, you guys notice I've had the alerts off and I've had the borders and everything off. So I'm going to record a very quick video intro and a quick video outro so that we can turn this into a YouTube quick and dirty. And then we'll turn everything back on and then we're just going to play for the remainder of the evening. 9-minute warning on dailies, by the way. 9-minute warning on dailies. Okay. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into the show. My name is UltimatDJz. That's Griffin. Thank you for watching this video here on Teaching Trek, where we've got the quick and dirty for you on Outposts, the refinery, the hostels, all the data, the charts with mad scientist Jules Verne here to walk us all through. Thank you guys for watching. Before we get started, be sure to click on the bell, subscribe to the channel so you know when we do more of these videos like this. Let's get into what we know here on day one of Outposts, the November arc. We're going to dive right in. And there's a cut, and we'll do our outro.
Hold on.
And that is what we know about Outpost here on day one, looking at the refineries and some of the stretch goals that may or may not be possible and what the long-term possibilities could potentially be. Obviously, early reaction is these numbers feel a little paltry. What do you think? Leave your questions, comments in the section down below while Griffin dries his tears after maxing the building and taking the opportunity to earn 3 G5 epic materials. That is what you can look forward to here in Outpost. So leave your questions, comments down below. Hit the subscribe button. Click on the bell so you know when we do more content. Click the like button. Share it with your teams. Get those views up. We appreciate it so very much. My name is UltimatDJz.
I don't like any of this. I'm Griffin.
And that's Griffin. And this is Teaching Trek. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. And there's our outro. See, there you go. Perfect. Tony Pye says your acting is horrible. You loved spending on that building, and don't you dare deny it.
I loved every second of it.
All right. So going to hop back into the game. We'll turn everything back on. Your alerts are back, everybody. We're going to turn the overlays back on and just kind of let you guys hang out and have a little bit of fun here as we get back into the game. Now, if I switch back over here to mine.
I did rub my snot in my eye because I was hoping to improve my situation.
Great outro.
I think I fool-bought this.
Yeah, I have no idea how old these are. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. All right, taking a look. Thank you, Jay Hand. Thank you very much. The foobar right there. Thank you. Hopping in, I am actually still alive, surprisingly, although I see this is moving much slower than I would have actually considered. I've only killed 7 of them. because of this 5-minute timer. You know, Jules, obviously a lot of technical stability hasn't really existed today, but I halfway wonder if 5 minutes is really necessary. Like, could we get that thing dropped down to like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes? What do you think?
Yay, bugs.
I don't know. Can you last 2 more minutes?
You're such an ass. All right.
Can the game last 2 more minutes?
Can the game last 2 more minutes? I don't know. All right, I have no idea. By the way, I've got now 4 ships. I've got 4 ships orbiting my outpost.
I guess I wonder if it's something to do with having 180 outposts potentially running at the same time, and having all of those attacks being on that same ticker. I guess is that like probably some of the calculation they made.
Well, they did say that this was the ideal balance for game stability. So, now, you know what? You're right, Ginmon. He said the 5 minutes makes the buffs last longer, which is true. If you're going to play it for the buffs, then you have more time out in the real world to be able to play with those buffs. So that is a realistic thing. If the hostiles were shorter, then your buffs would be shorter. So that's probably a fair point. Are you doing
an interview with game design?
Yeah, we're hoping. We're trying to land that one.
Not anymore.
If you do, then that's a fantastic question to ask. It's just like, hey, what was the incentive behind the actual total duration of an outpost?
Yeah.
So I believe that's what they would say. I think they would say, is to actually give you the time and space to plan out and use those buffs. And also just the strategy around it. And then this is, I would say, what game design would respond back, not necessarily what we as players would want, but it's just like you have to plan 6 hours of 2 ships being gone. So now you start to strategize. Do I want to hit the 70 or the 66, depending on what ships I'm willing to give up?
Oh, no, don't use the queue building button. What is that button for? What is this queue building button for? I'm told that's what breaks stuff.
The what?
The queues trials. If you want to try to
there's a new button where the queues trials are. What does that do?
Well, I just clicked it. It takes me into my outpost.
You into the outpost.
Yeah,
that takes you into the outpost buffs that you are actively running. It's just like a quick targeting. And yes, that did break it earlier today, but it looks like
that's right.
DJz didn't break it. So
well, at least not yet. I still have more hostile. Another hostile in 5 minutes here. Oh, interesting. I'm actually getting a lot of this currency from the SMS that's running, which is nice. Now, I'm going to come back into the Outpost refinery. So this is different. Solo Outpost credits are what I'm earning. I need to come back here. Let's take a look here more. Solo Outpost credits. That's this thing right here. That is just from killing the outpost. Okay?
No, it's also coming from the hostiles themselves.
But at a level of 100.
Right. So if you take all 72.
Yeah, here you go. Oh, no. Right. I'm getting 1,000 credits. I'm getting 1,000 credits. I'm getting components also, and I'm getting medals. All right. So,
so if you take all 72 of the hostiles, you get 72,000 credits from your hostiles, 60,000 from actually defeating the outpost. So
they're targets.
In theory, you would get more.
No hostiles. All right. So credits.
They call them hostiles.
Credits are used for the refinery, the material refinery.
Yes.
Components are used for buffs.
Correct.
Medals are used for officers, refits, building materials.
Special unlocks.
What is this? What is this one?
That's in the chest. You get a chance at the uncommon buff. There's a common, an uncommon, and a rare. Those 3 will determine how far you can get in upgrading any particular buff. Most of the other buffs that we've seen so far.
I'm actually getting a chest. Let's take a look and see what we get in our chest here.
Yep.
So there are solo outpost credits with the loot buff. There's the common solo outpost components for the buffs. Retaliation medals. And again, the medals being used here for Nog, Galactic Acclaim, and refits, building materials. Okay. And obviously no chest found, because why would that work?
Bugs.
Yeah. Let's go and open the Outpost Retaliation chest. This is the bug I was talking about earlier. Nice little tooltip description error problem there. Loot chest summary 84002.
Open it.
There we go.
I love that this show is bugs per minute is probably the most common
BPM
metric we're tracking. Yeah.
And I did actually earn 525 of the uncommons. Now, those uncommons are not redeemed anywhere in the refinery. Those are specifically for uncommon buffs. Which
you can use now if you wanted to.
I still can't. Don't have enough.
You lose.
still don't have enough to test the hazard thing here.
What do you want to test?
That was a level 70, right?
We wanted to test to see if the hazard resistance would persist
DJ,
after you lose.
What is wrong with you?
The outpost, since it's a galaxy format. So we're wondering if I've got a ship out, will I keep that hazard resistance until that ship docks?
Did you guys hear how he said it's a galaxy format? Like everybody but me knows what that even is supposed to mean.
Well,
what the hell is a galaxy format?
If you had been listening, then Jules theorized that the exo or the research, the buff, may last longer than your outpost because you haven't docked yet. Sir.
Well, Jules says a lot of things, okay? He's a smart guy. It's hard to keep track of it all.
He does say a lot of things.
Do say a lot of things. So one thing we never covered is actually how to get the Outpost Control Center cores. And currently, the only way I know of to get cores is actually defeating the outpost itself. It gives you a chest of cores. I don't know how to get rare cores, which is what you're going to need to upgrade it past level 50.
I do.
Yeah, you buy them right now.
That's exactly right.
You're buying them right now. Now, I just improved my building level. I'm going to see if that loot exo improves in real time. Oh, we already proved that it doesn't. Yeah, never mind. We already proved that it doesn't because I'm not getting my 9% from the building because I was already in space. Son of a bitch.
Sounds like a self-created problem.
So once you build the building, make sure you dock everything before you start an outpost, or you're not going to get your loot bonus. And you can't redock your system without losing the outpost.
Too bad you don't have like 7 more starts.
I do.
Oh.
I do have 7 more starts.
Well, it's going to be around 3 a.m. before you get to wave 2 of these hostels. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm not going to get there. I'm going to die. Okay, I'm going to die.
When? You've been promising that for an hour, and here you are still alive.
Well,
why don't you just go home now and get your stupid 9% and go back?
Because I'm not
death now.
I'm not earning the uncommons. The uncommons, that's not going to matter. Going down is not going to earn me more uncommons. The uncommons come in a chest. The loot bonus is not impacting the chest. Let's come back.
But no, isn't your building buff of 9% going to lower the amount of uncommons that you need?
No.
Oh, it just simply increases the amount that you're getting.
Yeah, it's increasing the amount of base loot I'm getting off the retaliation targets.
Oh, it's not an efficiency. It's okay, got it.
But because this comes in a chest, the loot bonus isn't going to matter. I just need those loot chests to drop more frequently.
Prime Rex asks, how the F do we actually start these things? Well, there is a free chest that comes in every 2 days.
Yeah, it's in your gift section. I'll show you. I actually, because of... What is this?
A joke? What?
No, what is this?
Yes, I went through the same thing at the beginning of my stream at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. IO facility coordinates gives you that wonderful thing that says used to build the USS Vengeance. So you think that they're giving you a Vengeance. No. This is simply unlocking the opportunity to build a second Vengeance once you have 1,000 additional blueprints.
So this gives you your second Vengeance.
No, it doesn't give you a second Vengeance. It gives you the opportunity to be able to build a second Vengeance once you have enough blueprints. Gotcha. You get no blueprints.
So here is your outpost directive, and because I've got the because I had the gift bundle, I'm not able to pull it right now, but as we can see, there's your cap.
You can. You get 1,000 of the things.
1,000 of the research particles, but
1 day cooldown.
there is a cap here of 3,000 directives. So you guys have to run it once every
5 days.
5 days.
Okay, so just to be specific, that actual coordinate thing, you would get that when you have a G6 Epic at tier 12, right? It comes in a gift chest and that allows you to just build the Vengeance alone, whether or not you actually have the blueprints to do so. That just unlocks the ability to do so. So this now gives you the second unlock if you wanted to build a second one. The new chest
Why
that's
haven't you
available
done that
with
yet?
Retaliation Plunder.
Hey, you've already maxed your first one. You should start building a second one. Hey!
Oh yeah, you want me to do that? Okay,
Yeah,
let's just check that out.
Okay.
Sure,
Yeah,
no problem.
Let's do that.
Let me
Check it
just
out.
go right into my shipyard here.
Okay.
That's easy.
Okay.
I'll go right down here to the Vengeance.
Hell
Oh look, I
yeah.
only have 225 blueprints.
Well, you can buy more
So
now.
Slacker.
You want me to?
Slacker.
You want me to buy 750 blueprints? Sure. Where do you buy them?
They're in
The Retaliation Plunder.
They're in the store.
In the refinery.
No, they're in the
So
store.
the event
You can go buy them.
the
Go to
event
your
that
cash
sources
store.
the blueprints goes away.
No. Go
But
to your
you
cash
can
store.
go in there.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
You can also do it that way too.
Go to the
Wait, come
cash
on.
store.
Don't make me
There
do
it is.
No,
I
don't
don't-
do it.
Vengeance
Don't do it.
Blueprint Pack. First one. Oh yeah.
$99 for 25.
Yeah.
How about no?
Yeah.
That's like reliving a nightmare.
that's
Why would I want to
Let's
relive this
go.
bad dream?
Creepy.
And we shall call
Creepy.
him Daddy.
All right,
Oh,
so hold on.
creepy.
That's $400 per 100. 4, 8, 12, 16, 2,000, 24, 28. That's like $3,000 for Vengeance number 2.
And that's like a 30% discount from the first one.
And that's
Do
not
it.
even talking about the parts.
But you don't need parts for that, right? It just comes fully
Scaling
equipped.
Back says, Griffin, intervention. Tarpitude, you got to take my credit card.
Okay.
dear Lord.
Can I use it on my game instead?
Oh my God. Whew.
Someone's getting two
Oh, no.
Vengeances tonight.
Someone's gonna
Benny
do it.
Hill's Ghost has activated Well Alert.
Uh-oh. Red alert. Red alert. Red alert. No! Don't do it! Don't do it! You son of a bitch!
No.
Don't you dare do it! Don't do it, Griffin!
Skinny
No!
Wheel of Doom.
Stop! Stop right now! No, God, no! He didn't do it. Tell
This
me.
is your
All right,
fault,
only
DJs.
Die. That's not
Only
Blame
science.
Pat.
31 more times to go.
Wait, does it even say no limit?
Oh, there's no limit.
It does. I'm sure it says
Oh.
no limit. It's like,
You
oh, there
did
they
it!
are.
I can't believe you did that. Why would you do that? Stop immediately. Stop it. Don't. If I don't open it, then later I can claim ignorance, right? Stop it immediately. Don't you dare. Don't.
Obviously,
you
I did it for
dare.
the G7 materials that I received. I received a whopping 4,400 G7 uncommons and no ore, which is the only one that I really need.
You could have gotten ore earlier.
That's messed up.
It is messed up. Thank you, Zero.
It is messed up.
Yeah. Don't do that. Oh, stop.
No, can't do that.
Yeah.
Can't keep playing that way.
No.
That's not what we want to see.
Nope. Sure
No.
isn't. Sure isn't.
Hey, so I'm trying to not focus on the chat as much as I used to, but Mimi has been
You're the best.
really
Mwah. Give me hugs and kisses. All right. What do you got, Mimi?
no, stay away. You should do the mission that's out.
I'm not doing the missions right now. No, I want to enjoy it. I want to read the missions. The
It
missions.
gives you the stuff
That's
that
fine.
you're whining about.
I'll get around to it. Listen, the missions are the
Tell you what, why
one
don't you start
thing-
the mission and then you can play one character and I'll play another character. Tarpity can play
No,
the female character.
We've already
and
done
then,
3
We'll
hours.
just have a
We've
good
already
time.
done 3 hours. It's time to go.
Wait,
It's time
I get to
I'm
play
not-
the hierarch? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, give us a voice of the hierarch. What is it? What's the
I
voice?
have no idea what that would be.
See, she
I
doesn't
don't do that.
She can't do it right now either. All right, we're gonna have to plan that for another day. Listen,
It
right
probably
now,
sounds something
don't
like
open it,
this.
then later I can claim
I
ignorance,
can't pay
right?
you money to put your dirty clothes where they belong or do any dishes around here. It's like I'm your slave.
I think that's probably what the hierarchy sounds like.
Might be.
Wait.
That being said,
did you just say I can't pay you to put your dishes anywhere?
Well, no, that's
or
the
you're
voice.
Not paying
No,
me
that's
to
the
do
voice of the hierarch.
That's the voice of the. That's the voice of the hierarch.
Yeah,
that's in my imagination.
Yeah, that was the hierarch there.
Okay.
However, as of this moment, guys, the narrative is like the only thing I have to look forward to this entire month. So I'm going to savor it. I'm going
Good
to.
thing for you, I campaigned heavily for an entire year and made a narrative back button in case you make a mistake. You're welcome.
Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. So yeah, I am going to. I'm going to do that. Vagrant says you promised us Fortnite yesterday. Fortnite when? I don't know. We had an ARC launch today. And we had an ARC launch. We obviously had a lot of riveting and exciting and engaging functional content that we had to teach you about tonight. So that's our priority here.
After all of our emotion, all of our Fortnite time was spent with our emotional speeches at the top of the program.
That's right.
Sorry.
That's right. We weren't supposed to spend 3 hours on this content. It deserved about 7 minutes. 6 or 7. Not sure.
That's not fair or true, but anyway. Hey,
did you see what I did there? Did you see what I did?
We affected change because obviously because of our emotional speeches, they got everybody back into work and they, fixed the problem and wrote an update and published it.
That was 100% on us. You're exactly right. We'll claim full credit for that. Had nothing to do with the fact that the game's been unplayable for 12 hours. Had nothing to do with that. But we'll take the win. All right. we'll take the win.
Life is all about timing, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, it's time to get out of here.
It is indeed time, ladies and gentlemen. That is our show for the night.
Hey, did you publish the Talking in Cars with DJs from this morning?
I will do that here momentarily. I was having trouble with my OneDrive. I actually got it downloaded during the show, and I've got to run it through the AI.
I spent hours editing that audio together.
No, it's going up. And community, here's what I need you to do. I need you to listen to that podcast, and I need you to send Griffin love and appreciation because I was thoroughly annoyed by an individual at work today who called me 6 times during that podcast, and then he had to go and stitch everything together and do all that stuff, so it took a little bit longer. That podcast will be up. Talking in Cars with DJs will be uploaded here momentarily, and I'll launch it here tonight before I even go to bed. Make sure that when you listen to that, you send Griffin your love and appreciation for doing that. Send him, you know what? You should send him a DM. He probably would like to read that. All right.
I enjoy DMs.
Yeah, he likes them. Okay. There you go. All right. Well, guys, there's Outposts. Questions? Comments? Are we excited?
I'm excited now that it works.
I'm excited to go to bed.
It does.
I'm on Retaliation 55, so it's still working. I'm excited about that.
All right. If I'm gonna be glass half full, they did fix it. It does appear fixed. I still got to come back with why did we launch it in the first place that way?
We need 4 features a year, guys. Stop with the 12 features a year. 4 features a year. We'll be happy.
Why did we launch that
the
way?
feature, then the officers, then the chaos tech. Just sprinkle it out.
I'm not going to say that it was easy. I don't know if it was easy. If you were able to fix it in 12 hours, then why did we launch it that way?
Oh, because they didn't know it was broken until it was launched.
They needed the alpha testers.
Why didn't you play test it? Why didn't you play test it? Oh, that's right. The play test is what broke it in the first place. Got it. Okay, sorry. I forgot about that.
Exactly.
Yeah, sorry. The play test is what actually broke it in the first place. Hashtag blame Pack. I told you 2 weeks ago, if November was a shit show, you could 100% blame Pack. Was I wrong?
No, you said you 100% blame me because I was in Los Angeles 2 weeks ago, and somehow that makes it my fault. I heard the podcast.
Yeah. Well, either way, we're gonna blame Pack and Griffin. Had absolutely nothing to do with me. Okay. Oh man. Webster Sponge, no. I'm gonna set you up with VIP right now. VIP Webster Sponge. Thank you.
Thank
for
you,
spending
Webster
your,
Sponge,
your
for
toy
being
mice.
a VIP.
There you go.
That's
Thank you.
awesome.
And you too can be a VIP just by watching the channel. You get to earn toy mice. Then you can spend those toy mice to earn yourself a purple diamond right here in the chat. We appreciate it so very much. Thank you, guys. That has been our Arc Fall special. Thank you. Murphy says another short show for me. Yeah. You know what? Hey, you're right. You're right. You know what we forgot to do? We forgot to do a special update into the Christmas Angel Fund. As a matter of fact, we had 2 off-air donations pop in. Let's go ahead and take a look at these very quickly. Here we go. How about this one right here from Oded, who says, "Yay, Outposts!"
All right.
Thank you, Oded, for dropping $29.79 into the Christmas Angel Fund for the kids. And this
Thank
one
you, Oded.
that came in. How about this from Anonymous? Dropping $1,500 into the Christmas Angel Fund. Says, "I knew Outposts were going to work, DJs. You're so silly. I can't believe you thought they wouldn't work." Never mind.
Thank you very much to whoever that was.
That brings us, ladies and gentlemen, to the grand total of $10,556 into the Christmas Angel Fund. That means we are 76% through floor number 2. You guys have an opportunity to do big, big things this holiday season. Take a look at the QR code on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Scan that.
You mean the one that's covered by your stupid logo?
No, I fixed it. It's
You're fired.
What logo are you talking about? What? I don't know what you're talking about. You guys scan the QR code, okay? And give to the Christmas Angel Fund to benefit the patients and families of Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt Medical in Nashville, Tennessee. You guys can find that link in our Discord and all over our socials. With that, we're going to call it a night. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Tarpy. Thanks, Matters. Thanks, Jules Verne, and all of the Talking Trek Lab Rats for all of your contributions here today. Thank you, Griffin, for spending an insane amount of money to provide some of the data that Jules already had. And we thank all of you for watching our content.
You're not welcome.
Thank you all for being a part of our community, watching the content, sharing it with your teams, and most importantly, being the best part of Fleet Command. And that is the humans, the people, our community. You guys are absolutely the best. My name is UltimatDJz.
And I'm Griffin.
And we are Talking Trek. You guys have a wonderful night. We'll catch you on the next one. Good night, everybody.